this way before. Travel through the open door. Circumstances navigated the path. And life happened all so fast. No, it got lonely sometimes. You see, I know we couldn't make it. Even when I'm offbeat, I still land on my feet. And nothing can shake me. Cause I know life took a hold on. I never. This is where I am destined to be. I'm not ready to give up. I believe in the miracle of life. Life's a quick with no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Games we play, can't take it personal. Cause the devil is a liar. I'm telling you the truth. It's all in what you do. Some things you gotta do. It's fight for millions. Take a second, see the blessing in it. With much expected, much is given. When I made the living, now I'm giving back to children. Never let the power come first before your happiness. Yes, you can be the best if you go the distance. Mix a little sweat with your persistence. You know that the best things are never instant. Just shine up, let them see it real. Get up, open up your eyes now. It's the moment of truth. No backing down. We're bringing it to life. Oh, for the children, it's a given. You gotta give it, be a blessing.
This my personal statement. Run the game like I'm ASICs. Learn and develop patience, determined to be the greatest. Yeah, bobbing and weaving, they changing up like the seasons. Indigenous to the grind, so I do it for all my people. Jabbing the competition, back up against the ropes. You fighting for recognition. I'm fighting just to promote equality where we lacking. Or cancer slowing our road. I'm confident we'll make it. We focus on common goals. Yeah.
Give back, give love, give in something away. Never give up, stand tall to fight another day. 2 toes, 2 feet, I stand on the ground. I'm going back soon and fight this final round.
Life's a play with no rehearsal. Last time, y'all. Cause the devil is a lie. Hey. I'm telling you the truth. Hey. It's all in what you do. Hey. The things you gotta do. Hey. What's up, pound for pound? Love is the word. How you doing today, Queen? Appreciate you coming in. DB covering all the bases, man. What it do, big homie? Taiwan Berryhill, man. How your son doing? What's up, sir, box fans? Patricia Selton. Hello, Smooth King. Oh, you talking to DB. I thought you was talking to me. Shit. What's up, Par 4? How did Washington State become a fan of the Boston Celtics? Explain that shit to me, DB. What's up, box fans? Patricia, you coming right back? Okay. Mr. Male Advice. What's up? Jeffrey Lakes, Mr. Majestic, man. We just gonna get started with the show, man. I appreciate everybody coming in here. I know I started the show 5-6 minutes early, but I was just excited for the guest, man. I was just excited because I feel he gonna need as much time as possible, man. I've been doing all my research, and he gonna drop a whole bunch of game, man. And without further ado, man, we got Mr. Theo Wilson in the building, man. Play Black Moses. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Oh, shoot, he done dropped the mic.
Oh man! Hey, what they? Oh, you beat me to it, nigga. You beat me to it. That was
right.
That was my dating movie in college, dog.
On the back.
Yeah. You want to know the one thing about it? I never finished it. Finished it.
That sounds like a successful dating movie to me.
Yeah, man. Hey, truly appreciate you coming in tonight, man. I love your talking points. I love the fact that you can articulate your talking points. Not that I always agree, but I think that it's just I'm glad you're here. You know, I mean, I'm really glad you're here. And how did all this start, man?
Listen, man, we might agree on more than you realize at this point. All I did was start writing these videos during the Black Lives Matter movement. You feel me? Like when it first got popping in like 2014. I first went viral in 2015. And my video was about reparations. You know Ta-Nehisi Coates. He wrote that beautiful article for the Atlantic about like the case for reparations.
Sure.
And it was like really, really articulate. It was detailed and thorough. I mean, he did his research. It was just too damn long. So what I did was I just made a video that talked about why we are owed reparations before we was really even talking about it like that, man. In the first minute of the video, I just cooned. I cooned just to see who I could bring in, just to see who I could pull into the conversation, just to see if somebody was going to misjudge me. I could always tell the people who had the shortest attention span. And I knew that if you disagreed with reparations, you were going to be pulled in by that first minute. If you agreed with reparations, I wasn't talking to you. My job was to convince those who didn't agree with it.
Sure.
And so it was just the tactical bait and switch. And before I knew it, people were sharing, and they always had to preface it, wait for it. Wait for it. You know what I'm saying?
Wait for it.
And so that's kind of how it all went down. You know what I mean? And then I started getting these white supremacist trolls on my account, man. And, you know, I basically had my first visceral black man reaction. Like, I bet you won't say that to my face, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I bet you I snap your neck when I see you in these streets, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it started. But then, you know, but I realized I'm basically internet thugging at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to see these people. They live all across the world, but I noticed they kept giving me the same BS information. They kept feeding me the same false narratives. And so I didn't know about echo chambers back then, man. I had no idea. People weren't even talking about it like that. What you thought, you know, when you looked at the internet, you thought what you saw is what you got. And so my partner in them, named Quincy, worked at an internet marketing firm. He broke down to me these target marketing algorithms, man. And I had seen this article about like white supremacists creating fake profiles on Black Twitter. And I was like, all right, because I would go to my trolls pages. They was fake. I didn't know you could do that. You remember, we all came from MySpace, you know. So I'm playalific 303 in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Right?
my top eight.
right. But basically, you know what I mean? But Facebook wanted your government. So I didn't really, I didn't conceptualize somebody could make a fake account. Bro, I didn't think this was revolutionary by any stretch of the imagination. You know what I'm saying? It only took me 10 minutes to set this mug up. Now, what I found when I went undercover was the whole thing that got the TED Talk off. And even the TED Talk got me in some trouble because of the ways that I framed a couple of things. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm here to clear all of that up just in case folks have misconceptions. But they released the TED Talk. A black man goes undercover in the alt-right, literally, Charlottesville weekend, literally. So here's how it went. Here's how it really went down behind the scenes.
Sure.
Behind the scenes, they was like, all right, we're going to release this in 3 weeks. This was at the beginning of July. 3 weeks come by, I ain't seen no damn video release, right?
Wow.
4 weeks go by, I ain't seen no damn video. 5th week, the lady from TED hits me up. She was like, yo, you're being considered. It happened to be Charlottesville weekend. I got 1 million views that first week. I didn't think that it was going to be like that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't expect to take this ride through popular consciousness. I didn't think I'd be on CNN talking all this stuff. And you know what I'm saying? Then the alt-right came after me like a motherfucker. It was crazy, bro. So it was, but I'm just me. You know what I mean? I'm just a brother who wanted to understand the existential threat of white supremacy as it reemerged in the modern era. That's why I did my experiment.
And what did you learn? Like you touched on it in your TED Talk, but feel free to take your time. You can give examples. We got as much time as you need tonight.
Listen, yeah.
Go ahead. And just talk about because you use the word compassion, the lack of understanding. Yeah, use the word. Yeah. We shouldn't have compassion for these motherfuckers, right? And how there's not a misunderstanding, but a lack of understanding. Was that the correct term? On both sides of the spectrum. So feel free to elaborate on that, because you're playing both sides of the fence. You're like a double agent at this point, correct?
At this point, but don't use that word too much because folks get the wrong idea out this month.
Okay.
You know I'm literally just
you're playing offense and defense.
Right. So here's what it truly was, right? I began the experiment because I said I need to know if this echo chamber stuff is, number one, real, number two, how big it is. Because I can't see it from my side of the internet, period. Right. So I'm telling you, bro, it was so basic, homie. I worked at a call center at this time. I'm like literally that was my 9 to 5. I'm working at a goddamn call center. Now this is how it really panned out, right? The call center had firewalls up in this internet. So you're certain websites that I could not get onto while I was working, you know, and we had long breaks between calls. What I found, feel me? So that's what's up. What up, big Terrence Bailey?
And shout out to Terrence Bailey for making this happen, man. Salute, Terrence. Salute, brother.
Oh, yo. Douglas Descendants. His real historical families, right? Which I am one too. I'm a grandson of a Tuskegee Airman. But yeah. But so anyway, now here's what went down. I couldn't get on the white supremacist websites at my job because the firewalls that the IT team set up blocked me from there. But all of the white supremacist websites had a YouTube channel. All of them. Now, what I did not realize at this point was that YouTube, when I created my fake profile initially on there, that YouTube is a portal to the dark web. A lot of people don't know that. But YouTube is actually, y'all have heard about the dark web. And I stumbled into it unwittingly. I was just trying to figure this thing out because as a black man, I can't not know my enemy. You feel me? Like, I am a survivor of police brutality. I talked about in the TED Talk. You've been feeling like I've been handcuffed to a chair and beat by the cops for real, for real. Like my partner, Alonzo Ashley, got killed by the police for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? So there's no parts of me that's sitting up here finding compassion as an intent. This was reconnaissance, bro. You know what I'm saying? This was scouting out the landscape. And it was so simple to do. Like, I'm still surprised that I'm talking about this. You feel me? But here's what I did find. So here's where the compassion piece came in, which is different than sympathy. Do not get them too twisted. First and foremost, do not get them too sympathy. Sympathy and compassion is two different things, right? So here's what went down. I said to myself, so check this out. I didn't choose to be born black no more than anybody chose to be born their race. Ain't nobody choose their mama. I ain't choose my mama. You ain't choose your mama, period. You see what I'm saying? And therefore, I ain't choose the family I was born into. My daddy said whatever he said at Thanksgiving. These white boys' daddy said whatever they said at Thanksgiving. You understand me? So if you living in a world where you got your uncle who's basically a freaking closet Klansman, you feel me? You living in the Rust Belt of America. You living in, you know what I'm saying, like the backwoods. You don't got no black friends. Only black people you ever see is on TV. And during this time, who was fucking president? Barack Hussein Obama, right? So when you talk about Black Lives Matter, these people didn't have no concept of that. So I was like, listen, they're by the grace. They're by the goddamn grace. I came out of a black woman, and therefore I got a black man's experience. If I came out of a white woman, I would have that experience. And I said, cause and effect coupled with how this country refuses to teach the truth about history. Refuses. Like, it's not like we accidentally left some shit out. This is a blatant omission. You are blatantly omitting Black Wall Street in this American school system. You're blatantly omitting what happened in Africa in 1491, blatantly omitting the greatness of our people, blatantly omitting the fact that we tried to stand our own too and got knocked down every time. So if all of this context is missing, I don't know how I could have landed in a different place, period. So it's an emotional understanding. And they say that African people, we're very compassionate people. I got that. That don't mean I'm out here trying to hug folks. You see what I'm saying? I'm not that dude. I was actually at a convention with that actual dude. You feel me? You know, and he and I can agree to disagree. I'm not Mr. Huggy. I'm this dude who was trying to figure something out. And the compassion piece got played up real tough. You know what I mean? But the fact is that I found compassion, but I do not sympathize. I don't sympathize with white supremacists whatsoever. This is the age of Google. You can find out whatever the hell you need to find out. You know what I'm saying? So I can cut there if you need to ask any questions, and I can go more into what I actually found. But that's what I experienced. Sure. I can talk about what I found.
Sure.
You want me to go there right now?
Oh yeah. You got me captivated. I'm like, yeah, go ahead.
Because so Pecan, this is very, very important to understand, right? The thing that's haunting white America right now, it's haunting them underneath the surface, is the concept of white genocide. They talk about it. You hear this concept. Have you ever heard the term white genocide?
I've never heard the term, but I can understand what they. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, right. So it's a hallucination, bro. It don't really exist. There's not a militarily capable nation on this earth that's non-white that can commit genocide against white people. Militarily, every white nation is a nuclear power. You cannot commit genocide against white people. You literally can't. You see what I'm saying? What the fear was is that, oh, if they keep having sex with these black men, you keep having these brown ass babies, you know what I'm saying? And I can't express my cultural pride without being castigated if I, they're tearing down monuments of white heroes and stuff. They're erasing my culture, and the population is shrinking like a mug. That's what you're gonna find when this census actually get tabulated, and we find like the raw data, you gonna see something else, because the white population is shrinking, and it's shrinking faster than it can be replaced. Here's how the numbers break down, bro. Every woman in every country must have an average of 2.1 children, right? That 0.1 is just a statistical averaging, right? If you fall to 1.9 children, average woman, you can recover, but it takes 80 damn years. No one has ever recovered, and I'll repeat, no one has ever recovered from an average of 1.8 children per woman. Most of the white world sits right now between 1.4 and 1.7. Low key, in 100 years, it's actually a wrap. You see what I'm saying? And that's the thing that they're fighting. But it's not because black people are doing it. It's another term that actually describes it. It's called demographic winter. What demographic winter simply is you're having babies too goddamn late and you're not having enough of them. That's it. Westernized countries, the women who are highly educated, as opposed to third world countries, just have their babies later and they have less of them. The thing about it is the poorer countries, they just have more babies. They have them earlier. These women start, childbearing at 17, 16, you know what I'm saying? And that extends their window in which to have children. So, for example, sub-Saharan Africa is the most population booming place on the planet. It's the fastest growing place right now. It's not Latin America. Everybody thinks it's Mexicans, it's like Latinos. No, Africans are the fastest growing population. Their birth rate on average is about 5.4. 5.4. In 2014, there were more black babies born in Nigeria alone than white babies born in the entire European Union. That's what they fighting. You see what I'm saying? And because they've had this cultural war for so long, those who polarize to the far right are taking up arms, thinking that they're somehow about to preserve the culture, when all they're really doing is removing popular will and sympathy from their cause. The more violence they commit, the more they kill. They're like a goddamn one-trick pony. The more violence they do, the more people they kill. And often they like kill white people. You feel me? So that's what's going on. And there's nothing that can be done to reverse the tide. So one thing I said in my TED Talk was, honestly, y'all got to embrace diversity. And I'm talking to white people here. Y'all got to embrace diversity. Here's what happens. If they don't diversify their genetic portfolio, they die. You see what I'm saying? And of course, they will say, well, if I mix with people, I die anyway. But the fact is that there's more genetic diseases among the European population than any other population on the planet. That's a fact. That's not Theo talking. That's not a eugenicist. That's Scientific American. I can tag you in the article if you want. Lack of genetic diversity weakens your genetic code. Who has the greatest amount of diversity in their own population? African people. It is what it is. So their attachment to white flesh, their attachment to white identity leads to suffering that is actually causing their birth rates to drop even faster, because where did the opioid crisis hit?
Middle of America.
Right. In fact, there's certain places in white America where you have literally white people dying at wartime numbers because of opioid overdose.
Yeah, I saw that special in West Virginia. I saw that. Yeah.
West Virginia is like one of the epicenters of it. You got spots out there in Missouri. You got in Arkansas. It's like a thing. You know what I'm saying? So white identity politics is killing white people who are attached to white identity politics. It's causing them to suffer. And if they don't kill themselves and implode, then they end up killing and striking out in these white supremacist hate groups. And it's just like, it's literally all the karma of white supremacy. It's literally all the inherited sins of the father coming down generation to generation. That's actually what it is. And that shit make me sad, low key. You know what I'm saying? It just made me sad, like, damn, that's fucked up. You know what I mean?
So how would that impact the power? Is that an immediate reaction? So like you say, white males are typically in power in this country, right? How will that impact them? Will they just create another narrative, create another system?
They will be unseated, but that's not the thing that's going to unseat them. Keep in mind, in South Africa, whites could rule when they were the numerical minority. It didn't matter. In Kenya, before the Mau Mau rebellion, white people were 2% of the population and still ruled. See what I'm saying? Well, the thing that will unseat the power is the lack of popular will behind white men being in power and the lack of competency of the white men when they are in power to begin with. Like Donald Trump, if there's ever been an argument against white supremacy, it's his very existence. You know what I'm saying? And the Republican president before him, George Bush, was an argument against white supremacy in and of itself. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they've mishandled their power. They've abused it. And they've created such a trail of bodies that there's just no way that people can actually support those who are fighting for white males to be in power. You know what I mean? And so that's the thing. And frankly, it's not supposed to be them in power all the time. They're not the only competent people. In fact, they are sometimes, because of the privilege literally decreases your competency. Privilege weakens you. It makes you softer. It makes you not try as hard because there's no impetus to try. You know, the black tax, you got to be twice as good to get just as much, means that you are actually more competent. That's why black women are consistently the highest performing individuals in their workplace, consistently, because they have no privilege. Like the odds are stacked against them in that way specifically. You feel me? So white men and black women being sociologically the polar opposites of one another.
So so how does this impact black people?
Man, listen. So here's what's gonna happen, and it's gonna get darker before it gets lighter. It's gonna get worse before it gets better, bro.
Explain.
Well, I got my finger on the pulse of something right now. I'm just gonna let you know they're not done acting out. And around election time, I think we all can feel it. But specifically, there's a wave of stochastic terrorism. I don't know if you heard that term before. I had not heard it before, but stochastic terrorism is simply terrorists that act thinking that they are doing it on behalf of a leader without direct instruction or information from that leader. They feel that their act of terror will impress that leader. And we have at least 20 cases right now that have been tried in the courts where a right-wing white supremacist actor has specifically named Donald Trump as their inspiration. You had 0 under Barack Obama and strangely 0 under George W. Bush too. You see what I'm saying? So you have a new thing coming up. The stochastic terrorism wave is just beginning. And these people I'm low-key on the show to like warn my folks, like stay ready, get ready. I went undercover again and I went onto some of the sites and the shit that they're looking at is doing is diabolical. I mean, the fact is that they have the police on their side all like already. And I think that we know that, feel me? We always call them the Blue Klux Klan around my way. I don't know, if you get that, but Michigan is a prime example of this. One of the reasons why they were able to set up what looked like attempted kidnapping of their governor was because there are sheriffs that are on the side of the far right guys. You see what I'm saying? Like, even though she is in charge, like not only is she a white woman who's the governor, but the lieutenant governor is a young black dude. You feel me? So these militias over here, not playing none of this. Now, they're a one-trick pony. Too many of them have already been radicalized for them not to have like literally be setting things in motion for around election day. So we got black gun clubs around my way. I'm like, yo, every black polling place, I need y'all to be there. Every black polling place, if you got any version of the Huey Newton Gun Club, I don't know if these NFAC cats, I don't know how y'all feel about them. But if you got any leanings like that, I know that many of the Hebrew Israelites, you know what I'm saying, have gun clubs or whatnot. Polling day, y'all need to be there to protect your folks because that's the day that they're planning on striking. Seriously, so just be ready.
What other intel could you give as it pertains to the alt-right white supremacy?
One of the most important things you have to understand is that, and I think we already saw this. So I'm just saying I found this out before it actually happened, but it's already happened. But the fact that there was a plan to do vandalism and destruction in the name of Black Lives Matter, posing as Antifa when they weren't even Antifa. They were actually Proud Boys. Like they were actually far right guys. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Vanguard is a huge one. Vanguard, they're a little older. You see what I'm saying? So there's a chain of white supremacy that a lot of people don't understand. Okay. So let me break this down to you. All right. Because see, we know Steve Bannon, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. Right. All right, cool. Yeah, because me and Bailey got a chance to chop it up. Which specific aspect, Terrence? Because we covered a lot of ground. Uh-huh. So a lot of people don't realize the orchestrated nature of how this shit came to be in the Trump era. All right. Mm-hmm. So there's two waves that crushed us, one from the top and one from the bottom when it came to white supremacists.
And you're speaking of Black people, right?
Yeah. And so specifically the waves of white supremacist violence that was aimed at us.
Sure. Okay.
Because there was one wave from the top and there was one wave from the bottom. The wave from the bottom, we pretty much know about. So there's the Vanguard organization, which they're inspired by this guy named William Pierce, who inspired Timothy McVeigh, who did the Oklahoma City bombing in 1995 or 6, right?
I was in high school, so yeah.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. So he's looked at as like the dude who initiated this kind of war against the American government, right? Which is weird because they're also in the American government, and then they want the government to also like protect them. Like they got a weird love-hate relationship with them, right? Sure. And so Vanguard, they have been the ones that have been quietly the most active. You see what I'm saying? And what they've been able to do is, of course, infiltrate the police departments. And they exploited a big old loophole in white psychology, which is they don't talk about race. White people don't know when their own friends are racist. They don't know when their freaking family, they don't know when their daddy's racist. You see what I'm saying? Like now there's like, you know, I'm talking to white guys like, wow, I had no idea that my father felt this way. I'm like, well, I could have told you if you just tell me when he was born and what part of the country. I could have told you, right? So the infiltration of police departments is the thing that has been killing Black people. Let's be honest. It is the infiltration of law enforcement that actually started the Black Lives Matter movement. Because, I mean, yeah, okay. Because a lot of people do not understand that there are full-on white supremacist gangs inside of police.
Yeah.
Full on. A report just recently came out about one called the Executioners. They were in Compton.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, and I mean, and the list goes on and on and on, right? What I believe Brother Bailey is referring to is the fact that the FBI sent out a memo in 2008, right before Barack Obama ascended the White House. Remember, Obama wasn't just by himself. He also brought Eric Holder, who was going to be
Attorney General. Yeah.
Attorney General, right? Right. And so during that time, FBI blanketly says to every policing department, be on the motherfucking lookout for white supremacist infiltration. Be on the lookout. Okay. Mm-hmm. And that memo was largely ignored. You can look at you can look it up. You can look it up. And so with that being
08.
I believe this is 2008.
Okay, not the second term. Okay.
Either way, it's a memo from the FBI's counterterrorism wing. Mm-hmm. It's telling you, right, look out for this, right? So this is the infiltration from the bottom. So these guys, these prison gangs, these like, and they're like linked to like Nazi prison gangs. Like there's just this back and forth communication, this trail with them, right? These are the ones who are actually taking lives. And these are the ones who are not holding people accountable because it goes all the way up to the district attorney, leverage over police departments, leverage over police chiefs, over mayors. They know when the bodies are buried. They know when you fuck the prostitute. They got pictures of it. They can send it to your wife. We've seen it happen here. See what I'm saying? So that infiltration from the bottom is the thing that is consistently, until the police weed this infiltration out, all Black people are at risk. I'm going to say that, do you remember the shooting in what's it called? The shooting
at the church?
No. This was after that, yo. This was 2016, Dallas, the brother.
Oh, yeah, Johnson, Micah Johnson.
Right. So Micah Johnson gets up there and he mows down he killed like 5 cops that night, right? Mm-hmm. One of the cops that he killed had an Aryan insignia tattoo on his ring finger. Straight up. So these guys are in the police departments for real. And they're killing brothers left and right. When you get pulled over, people don't understand this. Like, you have an actual real fear that you could actually be getting pulled over by a 100% race soldier. All right? That's the infiltration from the bottom. From the top, it looks a little different. Because from the top, this is where they hit it the most. Everybody knows about George Soros, right? Everybody knows George Soros is supposedly this billionaire. I mean, he definitely is a billionaire. Everybody thinks he's behind Black Lives Matter. He's not. I can get into that. But what people don't know is about Robert Mercer. Have you heard that name?
No, I'm a Google him as you speak, though. Go ahead.
Robert Mercer is a mathematical genius. He is also a full-on white supremacist. He's a billionaire. He is the one who has been partially responsible for putting white supremacist thought in place under the guise of conservatism for the last 20 years, even longer than that, right? He's also the financial arm behind Steve Bannon. And Steve Bannon was the chief strategist for Donald Trump. It was Steve Bannon who allowed his strategies will make Trump recover after the grab him by the pussy tape came out, right? So Robert Mercer backs Steve Bannon, drip feeds white supremacist thought into academia for the last 20 some odd, 30 some odd years, right? It's Robert Mercer whose money actually helped to rescue the Trump campaign in 2016. So Rob Mercer is actually the right-wing George Soros. He's the force behind the white power from the top. And he is the one who was also helping out another dude named Jared Taylor, who I actually had a chance to talk to. Jared Taylor, I call him the Sith Lord. Jared Taylor, he is the intellect behind the white supremacist movement. He is the brains. And he's a perfect fucking gentleman. Like, you would think that he'd be, you know, some foaming at the mouth, some bitch. No, Jared Taylor is a perfect gentleman. He and I talked for about an hour or so. And we were supposed to be recording on our end. It was supposed to be like a podcast. We were supposed to be recording. And I'm telling you, that dude knows his shit. He knows his shit. And he set up a website called The Color of Crime. And Color of Crime, I don't know if it's still underneath that name, but it's like he's compiled and distorted all these statistics about Black violence, which gets filtered into sites like VDare, which gets filtered into sites like used to be Stormfront. And every time they want to justify their anger at Black people, it is Jared Taylor's statistics that they're citing. You see what I'm saying? And they're often very, very wrong. They're often all fucked up, but they look damn official, you know, and you really got to do your research to come through it. So that's how it happened from the top and then the bottom. And that's how Trump got into the White House. You see what I'm saying?
Now, before we get to Trump, you mentioned Black Lives Matter is not a George Soros.
No.
The origin of Black Lives Matter.
The origin of Black Lives Matter is just three queer sisters who started a hashtag. Patrice Cullors, Alicia Garza, and I forget the third one's name. You know what I mean? Now, they've come under attack for being like highly, highly feminist and not necessarily down. You know, people say that they're not down for Black men. You know what I mean? We can have that conversation. But literally, I would say this. People say that they started around Ferguson. That's the popular narrative. The movement started around Ferguson. If you do a search in the beginning of the hashtag, it was after Trayvon. These sisters just started that hashtag after Trayvon. You feel me? And these are just woke lesbian sisters who do their fucking thing. I've been surrounded by women like that for the last 10 years just because of my work in the community doing poetry. It's just a lot of woke, feminist, queer sisters who, you know, just some of the, you know, most intelligent people out here. But if you really look at it, if they started that around the time of the death of Trayvon Martin, then who really started the Black Lives Matter movement? Was it Trayvon Martin or was it George Zimmerman? Does that make sense? Who really changed the world? Was it George Floyd or was it Derek Chauvin? See, this is what people get misconstrued all the time. You are looking at the fire and not the spark. Don't look at the fire, look at the spark. Because the spark has been the latent white supremacist culture for the longest time that has been inside of literally law enforcement since literally they were slave catchers. You feel me? Don't look at the flame, look at the spark. Because that's who's really starting this shit off. So unless you can prove to me that George Soros called up George Zimmerman and was like, kill that nigga Trayvon tonight, you know what I'm saying? Then that's where that happens. So of course it snowballs and it gets into the mainstream politically. You know, there's this allegiance between Black folks and liberals. And the Act Blue website is often quoted as the place where George Soros does his like filtering into, but you can actually hit up Act Blue and get their statements. They have to be transparent with their statements. So if you don't believe them, you can just look at like their motherfucking money. Like they will tell you where to get it from. Act Blue, it is leftist, it is liberal, and it's also the platform which almost every new left-wing progressive gets their funding on. It's just a general platform. It's like a GoFundMe, except for people on the left, you know what I'm saying? So there's also their counter, which is Win Right. And Win Right is basically the same shit. So, you know what I mean? It's just not, it's popular mythology, but the right has concocted this socialist shit. Look, man, niggas don't care if you're socialist, capitalist, niggas just want to be free. You feel me? And that's how I've seen it.
So Black Lives Matter is what in 2020?
Black Lives Matter is more of an ethos, man. It's just it's like a zeitgeist. It's the spirit. It's the encapsulation of the subtext of every movement for Black life since the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like if you really look at it, dog, we've been trying to say this shit from jump. You know what I'm saying? Like
no, that part is right, but I'm talking about the business of Black Lives Matter. Is it now? Because now when I look at an NBA game, I see it on the basketball court, I see it on the black helmet. So
yeah,
it has to be in conjunction with white supremacists at this point, because it's now engraved into American culture and American psyche, more importantly, you know, or as important, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's that's a possibility if you consider that this entire system is white supremacist at its core, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think what carried Black Lives Matter through the ethos is the historical gravity of the justice and righteousness of Black folks' fight for freedom and how fucking long it's been. You see what I'm saying? Like Black Lives Matter carries the weight of the history. It is the inheritor, whether right or wrong, of the civil rights movement. It's the inheritor of it. You feel me? Literally the subtext Black Lives Matter. It's so simple, but subtextually Black Lives Matter been this, like literally like emancipation was like Black Lives Matter enough to get free from chains. You see what I'm saying? Civil rights was like Black Lives Matter enough to be treated equally. Black Panthers was like Black Lives Matter enough to be defended by any means necessary. We will pick up a rifle to defend Black life. You feel me?
Sure.
So now we gotta say it in plain English because this the internet generation, motherfuckers are dumb. That's all I'm saying.
So what should we do on November 3rd? What's your stance on Biden and Trump and voting as a whole?
That's what's up. So here's what I feel like. There's a devil you know and there's a devil you don't, right? You feel me? I'm somebody, so let me just be real. Let me just be like 100% about this, right? 2016, with all the woke shit I'm involved, I'm in a community activist, I ain't vote. I was like, so this heifer Hillary fucking Clinton called me a super predator when I was 12, yo. Hillary Clinton is the reason partially why I got beat up by the police, yo. Because they looking for a super predator, right? Hillary Clinton's why my boy Alonzo got killed by the police, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like she and Biden, in my mind, influenced that entire culture, you know, and legitimize it on the left. We ain't even talking about the right. It's that sneaky, to me, Hillary Clinton back in 2016 symbolized that sneaky, fake, left-wing white supremacy that they look like, you know, is your friend, but actually is there to do you worse because you don't see it. I was reminded, and I spoke often, of Malcolm X's The Fox versus the Wolf. You know what I'm saying? Where one was the fox because, you know, right. You know the wolf is a wolf.
They probably don't know the story, but feel free to elaborate because I'm a big Malcolm X guy, but feel free to elaborate on that.
Right. So Malcolm X was like, conservatives and liberals is both dogs. They fox and the wolf. You just looking for the wolf. You think the fox is smiling when he's baring his teeth. You just pretending to be your friend. That's how I saw Hillary Clinton. So I sat my ass down. I'm like, yo, man, either way, I'm going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm black. I've been in the fire. What they do? Then when the vote came down, I was like, oh, shit. Like, so low key, I actually already had an investment in, I didn't realize it. It's like, you don't know what you got till it's gone. Like, you didn't know you loved this woman until she walked out. You feel me? Like, it was like, oh, shit. I actually did not want Trump to actually win. You know what I'm saying? And so these last 4 years, I've been looking at my decision to sit it out. And I've heard every argument that there is, bro. And I get down with it, right? When I hear cats talking about tangibles 2020, you know what I mean? It's about time we started talking about that. It's about time we started getting that damn leverage up. Like, it's about time that we set our price way, way higher than we've been setting it. It's about time that we question our allegiance to like liberals just because we black, you know? And that's the devil that we know versus the devil that we don't. Here's the problem, though. You ain't gonna have no stochastic terrorists running out shooting Trump supporters thinking that Joe Biden gonna give them a wink and a nod. This is a different kind of danger. Trump poses a different kind of danger. And in my opinion, right now, it's a greater danger. You know, my Uncle Mike, he died of COVID-19, man. Yeah, what it is. He was already old. He already had pneumonia, you know what I'm saying? And I'm somebody who necessarily didn't agree with the lockdowns. I still don't think that we really can do much about it, to be honest with you. You know, countries that have locked all the way the fuck down are still having resurgences, man. Herd immunity, like low key, people aren't ready to admit it yet because politically you can't position yourself to have blood on your hands, but there's really not much that we can do about COVID. Like, it's going to have to play out. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. We got hit with this as like a nuclear blast. The fallout just has to be the fallout. You know what I mean? But at the same time, the fact that Trump is such a goddamn narcissist that he knew about the dangers of it and still didn't do nothing for a month. Like when Bob Woodward's book came out and it was clear that this fool knew like a month and a half earlier, the fact that because he was so scared of the economy sinking, didn't keep it real with the American people, the fact that he's left so many diplomatic posts understaffed, the fact that there's so many white supremacists willing to blow shit up to get a wink and a nod from him is a far more virulent existential danger. You got to look at the police. The police who are white supremacists feel like, oh, the president got my back. You got to make them feel like they don't. You see what I'm saying? You got to make these motherfuckers feel like, yo, okay. I seen this one MAGA hat that was a remix that said, make racists afraid again. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like they don't understand nothing but defeat. You know, they don't understand nothing but like to they wake up with the black eye and a loose tooth. Like, that's all they understand. You see what I'm saying? And the emboldenedness, right? You can track the Southern Poverty Law Center, the CBI, Colorado's Bureau, it's basically the FBI, but for here in Colorado. They've been tracking a rise in hate crimes ever since Donald Trump was a serious candidate. And it's getting worse every single fucking year. See what I'm saying? That puts me at risk. It puts all black folks at risk. This African family here in Colorado, the beautiful Senegalese family, just had their house willfully burned down by white supremacists, killing children and everything. See what I'm saying? Like, white supremacists burnt down this African family's house, killing the babies and everything. This was like a month ago, bro. See what I'm saying? These folks feeling like it is what it is, they can do what they want to do. And just because you yeah, I'm gonna vote for Biden, but I'm not gonna stop working. You see what I'm saying? It's not vote and chill, it's vote and work, my nigga. Like, this isn't gonna change just because, just think about this strategically. Like, think about it realistically. Right? So you vote for Biden, Biden wins, and then what isn't happening yet is there's still a whole string of legislation that you can still have your motherfucking hand in. Still, right? And here's what's happening. You're voting in these young progressives right now that are actually entertaining the thought of reparations. that are entertaining addressing systemic racism. You see what I'm saying? Therefore, if Biden wants any majority over the Republicans, he's got to come up with legislation that appeals to those who are talking about the shit that we're talking about. Does that make sense? So Biden and Kamala, even if Kamala's Miss Officer Kamala, right? The thing about the fucking fox is that if you don't know he's the fox, that's when he's dangerous. Now we're looking at you. We're looking right at you. Try that shit again when the whole world, the whole black community, you know. You go up there trying to pull that skin in and grin and shit, we looking at you, right? So when you vote in, I'm talking about chestnut checkers here. When you vote in those who are progressive enough to give a shit about listening to what you're talking about, in order for him to defeat the Republicans, he's got to put legislation on the table that look like what you're talking about. That's the strategy here, right? Even when we're talking about reparations, which I'm still a 135,000% believer in, you still got to have people who are in them positions that's willing to hear what you're talking about. And strategically, Biden needs them. That's why I'm voting. You see what I'm saying?
How did you disconnect Biden from Clinton, from Hillary Clinton, in terms of voting for Biden?
I'm still in like, it's the devil you know and the devil you don't. I don't like that cat. I don't like him. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just dealing with the fact that I'm the nigga who sat out 4 years ago. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm the dude who sat out 4 years ago. And I'm telling you, all y'all who thinking, they basically the same, my nigga, they not. They not. We're dealing with a structural instability situation that's known as democratic backsliding. Look this up. Democratic backsliding. You've seen it happen in a lot of third world countries, especially in Latin America. You've seen it happen in certain democratic parts of like Asia, right? Where you'll have a working, functioning democracy set up, and then you'll get somebody who's a dictator. And when that dictator gets in that office, what they do is they start rolling back the checks and balances. When they start rolling back the checks and balances, it enables the kind of abuses that happen to those who was already abused under that system. Those who fought for that democracy, fought for the democracy so that the least among them could have a seat at the table in some type of way. When you get democratic backsliding happening, it puts Negroes in motherfucking danger. Let me tell you something, man. People be ruling for a society to collapse like you ain't close to this house of cards. You know, people didn't like when Killer Mike asked, so how much of your food and you go in your cabin and did you grow mine again? How much hunting you do, how much fishing you do? Let me tell you something. Hurricane Katrina let me know right now, society fall on black people. You think you want this thing to fall. You think you want it to fall because America's fall is coming. You think you want it to burn because you think you're used to flames. Let me tell you something. When it falls on black people first. What I say is figure out a 5 to 10 year plan that looks like strategically getting to where you need to go financially. Maybe even getting the hell up out of this country if you need to. But you're going to need this mug to be stable while it's happening. Unless you got the farm already cracking, don't talk to me about you want this shit to fall. For real, for real. Unless you got that hunting already cracking, unless you got that fishing already cracking, do you niggas know how to build in a boat a house? Yet, cool. Get your stability. Under the stability, learn these skills. Each one teach one in the community. Before you know it, like we got a black farm collective out here that's already building. We already got the land. I'm a part of it. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm already pricing the cows, the chickens, the goats. You know what I'm saying? We already know where to sell these motherfuckers at market. I'm telling you, I'm doing this, right? My man Shabasa, he really on it, right? And he got a collective of black people that's on it, right? Hydroponics. Like we figure out how to grow food. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Bailey, what up, Bailey?
Yeah. So we'll get to that in a second. But if we're going to be oppressed in a stable society, why should we not want it to crumble?
Because the fact is that we are not equipped currently to deal with the fall. Not currently.
We are not equipped. I don't believe we're equipped currently to be successful. Oh, excuse me. Equipped is different, but I don't think the system wants us to be successful. It is systemically oppressing us from being successful.
That's a real thing. And so here's what I say, because I've looked at that too, right? Specifically, and this is what the thing that me and Bailey was talking about. Mm-hmm. The system give it and the system take it away. It's about a 27-year cycle between when this motherfucker really, really burned and when they like, feel me, like come on back. 27, 28-year cycle. And if you look at 1965, like burning, you know, feel me? And then, or was it 68? And then 92, Rodney King, right? And then 2020. It's almost like the system builds itself to absorb the shocks of our rebellion and then adapt around it, right? That's not a generation sustainable way to exist in any circumstance whatsoever. So I've boiled it down to this. The strategy is this, and we have to decide: reparation or separation. Reparation or separation on a large scale. Meaning, if we're going to be a part of this thing, we got to leverage full-on reparations. This is just not the election to do it at. This is not the election to do it at.
So when do we do it? Can we wait?
I think that you do it the next election when we have this kind of. And here's why I'm saying that. People are fucking terrified right now. COVID, the crash of the economy. They've already sent out stimulus bills. You need to do it in a type of recovery environment whereby people feel like they got the ability and means to do it, but they're not right there fighting for their own means of survival just yet. See what I'm saying? So we need to get this economy expanding again while we keep our narrative on the front burner, however we got to do it.
So you want to take phone calls, by the way?
Let's do it.
Okay. Statistics proves that we're not gaining traction.
For sure.
So why should we wait for a system to, one, to recover, and two, to rebuild itself? They're just going to create antibodies to keep us oppressed.
Well, that's the catch-22, isn't it? Because if you're not gaining traction, then why fight for reparations at all? Ergo, why stay here? Ergo, get the fuck on a plane and get out of here before it falls. You see, like this is the thing. We don't really understand in America what it means to have things for real fall apart. And we haven't had it for a long, long, long time. You talk to people in Syria, they know what it's like. You talk to people in Uganda, they know what it's like. See what I'm saying? Talk to people down in Haiti, they know what it's like when the shit really, really fall. Now, we got real close with COVID, don't get me twisted. But we really didn't eat shit the way that we could have. See what I'm saying? Though we got much closer than we've been in like a generation, like 3-4 generations, right? But the fact is that it's real. I understand that there is these barriers. I'm never going to be one to be like, yeah, like my individual success does not mean that institutional racism don't exist. You feel me? Sure. And I would have been more successful had I not had these motherfucking barriers. You see what I'm saying? So we need to be realistic about this. Figure out calorie per calorie where you want to expend your energy, but there's only 2 outcomes. There are only 2 outcomes. Full on reparations, full on. I'm talking about like not only money, but like land, institutional. We're talking about like land grants, everything they did. Literally, the reparations model that I'm going off of is the Homestead Act of 1862, what they did for white European immigrants. Look at the Homestead Act of 1862. That's my blueprint for what reparations should actually look like. And a lot of it involves land, for real. Coastal land. See, that's how they track the Native Americans. You see what I'm saying? Like the Native Americans, all of their reservations are landlocked.
Sure.
Don't get landlocked. You need a coast. You need somebody to ship in. You need an airport you can fly the fuck out. All right. And then,
you got your first call. 904. What's up? Appreciate you, part 4.
Fred?
What's popping?
First time calling. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. Right now I'm up here taking a nap. I got to work early in the morning. I'm really into this show right now. But the guest you got on, I don't even know him, but I like that topic that y'all on right now. Bro, my take. I grew up with both my parents. Had a real good dad. He already, ever since I was born, I was taught that kind of stuff. Came up on the farm, know how to build, know how to do everything. Man, that shit is easy. Our problem is we think is difficult because everybody else produce and do it. It's very easy. This shit got to fall and fail for us to get in the right mind frame and do what we got to do. Shit too easy. You know what I'm saying? Everything too easy for everybody. Everybody's scared because they fear, well, damn, how we gonna eat? Or how we gonna build a house? I'm telling you, I know y'all don't know, but I've been in it all my life. That shit's easy, man. There ain't nothing to be scared of. It don't matter if it fall or don't fall. We'll be all right.
That's real talk. I mean, we're the most resilient people on the face of the earth. There's no question about it. You understand what I'm saying? With that resilience comes the sacrifice of a lot of life, however. And that's the thing that I'm trying to avoid. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be there's going to be brothers like you who going to be all right. There's going to be enough of y'all that we going to be all right. But there's enough of us who's going to fall for real by the wayside.
Not necessarily, because it's a lot of us. See, with the media and all the bullshit is promoted. It's many of us is electricians and know how to pour concrete, know how to frame houses, know how to farm, know how to know how to hunt, know how to do this, know how to do that. And when things break down, instead of people looking at the bullshit, they gonna look at the leaders that was there the whole time that they wasn't able to see because all the flash it is. Everybody worrying about this foolishness. But we already here already. We got everything we need already. You know what I'm saying? So
I believe in us 100%. You know, I would prefer that the brothers who have the skills build the networks now. Build these networks now. You know what I mean?
Appreciate the call, 904.
Yeah.
All right.
Appreciate you, bro. Yeah. You don't think in a revolution that it's going to take bloodshed?
A revolution takes strategy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes, I understand that.
Like, so study failed revolutions. Study those, because what you're seeing is that, like, fighting a revolution isn't just about getting the gumption up to actually draw blood. That's only the first step of the battle. Now, a lot of us ain't even got the gumption up to get ready to draw blood, and we're trying to get there, right? But also, a revolution is you want to win it. What happens in failed revolutions is so disgusting, because the punishment that gets inflicted upon those who tried the revolution and failed is something that's worse than the fate of death. You see what I'm saying? This is no reason to be afraid of revolution. Study successful revolutions and study successful revolutionaries and define success on your terms. So how do I define a successful revolutionary? I define a successful revolutionary as somebody who fought the revolution, won the revolution, and then governed the country they were fighting for. These are our terms. This is the outcome. You fought the revolution, you won the revolution, and then you governed upon the terms that you set on your new country. So let's be realistic, right? Jomo Kenyatta is one of my standard bearers of a successful revolutionary. He fought his revolution. He won his revolution. Then he governed the country that he fought for, right? You could look at strangely, but this is true. George Washington is a successful revolutionary. George Washington, and I know he's our fucking enemy, but I'm saying the principle is revolutionary. I'm not talking about that. He fought, he won, and he governed. Those are the three parameters, right? So you've got, the wars to overcome the Italian aggression in Ethiopia. You see what I'm saying? You fight, you win, you govern. Haiti, same thing. You fight, you win, you govern. And that takes strategy. So it's not just about, it's about to go down and then I'm about to start swinging and then I'm about to fuck these niggas up. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's about study when Black people have been successful militarily, what were the conditions under which we were successful? Because we have been successful. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I guess the fight kept secret, but how did we do it? Replicate that.
Shouldn't a plan of success trump fear? Shout out to Jedi King, man. Salute Fred and the New Age Arsenio Hall. Thank you, brother. Why?
Yes, yeah. I definitely agree. And here's what kind of has me like in my feelings about that. Because I'm a new father. I got a daughter. You know, it's my first baby. She's 7 months old.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking about, as a father, what must I do to secure not only her survival, but the survival of my bloodline into the 7th generation? And if that means that living in a submissive system to a country that giveth and taketh away cyclically every 27 to 28 years means that she's going to be fighting the same battles that I'm fighting, then as a father, if I don't face the danger of revolution, then like I failed her. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and if you look at the battlefield and look at it, like look at what it would take against this enemy, like really assess what you're dealing with. If you look at the history of warfare, this shit is planning. It's planning to the detail. Sun Tzu said those who win the war win before they fire the first shot. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. We got another call. 832. TB, feel free to call in, man. 832. What's up? Oh, you hung up?
It's all good.
Oh, it hung. Oh, yeah. But where do you think under that plan, under your plan, excuse me, that will continue to be a victim of police brutality? How do we solve our issues? How do we solve our issues by allowing it to still take place as it is? So what's our role in this? So we done tried, we done had a black president for 8 years.
Right.
We've created a strong Democratic Party in Democratic states. As I tell many people on this channel, as I tell people on this channel, that Florence and Normandy, which was the genesis of the riots, looks exactly the same. And I'm sure, I don't know what Colorado looks like. Colorado's a swing state still?
Colorado is pretty much a blue. Well, I'll tell you, we are a blue state. We've been for the last 2 election cycles, but we were red state for literally the whole time prior to that.
Okay.
It was the weed. It was the weed. Right. Yeah.
I'll ask after this call. We got a call. What's up? What's up, TB? Go ahead. You got it. Go ahead. TB. Hey, what's up?
Going on?
Hey, what's up?
What's that?
What's going on, bro? It's Terrence, man.
Oh, what's cracking, Terrence?
Ain't nothing, man. Hey, look, I gotta. This is my stance on this current election. You touched on it a couple points. My stance on it is that you got a lot of people saying, well, saying stuff about Biden. They don't like Trump, but they don't like Biden either. And the crime bill keeps coming up, and a bunch of other stuff. And I want you to speak to this. My point in the whole thing is that we're at the point right now where we have to press the reset button. We need to go ahead and get this guy out. Get on the option we got, really. But no, we got other options. It's not just Biden. There's other people that are on the ticket that are not getting the and they're not getting the airtime. But we gotta get somebody else there in office, and our community needs to take the next 4 years to find our candidate.
Right.
What we need to be doing is searching for our candidate, and we got 4 years to do it. My personal opinion, if you think that Biden, if he wins the election, is going to last 4 years mentally, I don't think that's going to happen.
Right.
Dude's already slipping. Kamala's going to end up being president.
Yeah.
And I don't know what everybody else thinks, but me personally, I don't trust the prosecutor because of the way they got to climb the ranks.
That's real shit, man.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's 100% real. The thing about it is that she has the eyes of the Black community on her, and on her with a kind of suspicion that we never had for Obama. You know what I'm saying? That we never had for even Bill Clinton, when we should have had our eyes on both of them far more suspiciously than we do right now. She's inheriting a different Black community. A Black community that is up in arms, a Black community that's ready to take action, a Black community that has been wounded by one video after the goddamn next of one of our brothers and sisters getting killed, a Black community that's in motion right now. You see what I'm saying? And so this isn't the same ball game because we aren't the same people. And I think that what she's going to deal with us is the fact that we have the ability and the leverage right now to set the terms, especially if, and I know that we will likely put blue over the top with this one, but there cannot be a celebration. We can't chill. Like we always vote and chill. Feel me? But here's the thing. We need to also get involved in the local election cycle. So while here in Colorado, you know, people always look at the presidency and look at the electoral college and the fuck shit that's going on with these candidates. Listen, we got a Black woman here who got elected named Leslie Herod. Leslie Herod took on the prison industrial complex here in Colorado. We got another Latina sister who, like, you know, she's a queer woman who got a Black wife. And she shut down for-profit prisons here in Colorado. She did not allow them to get that, like a fucking $100 million contract here that they was about to get. This woman shut that down. We got this that was a Latina woman who, you know, like the Black community voted for heavily, and she fulfilled her end of the bargain. Leslie Herod set up there and ended cash bail for the hood. Feel me? So the poor people who was in there for these like lesser crimes that they had to wait to get bailed out on, she was like, oh, that's dead. That was local elections, homie. You see what I'm saying? So it's like there's ways in which that you can fight to leverage the system strategically to your advantage in the long term. Now, those who was against it be like, yo, ain't no nigga ever voted himself into freedom. You can't vote. I know that, bruh. I ain't never saying, look, man, vote for Biden and then everybody just gonna be crip walking in Wakanda from now on. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I'm thinking about a slave who was hell-bent on escaping. And this fool took every square inch that he could get, that she could get. Every tool on the field was fair game. You see what I'm saying? I don't care if it's a stick or a twig. I'm about to loosen the shackle just enough to put a rock underneath this end. It's just enough to get this leverage. And if I pop this motherfucker, I promise to God, I'm not concerned right yet about getting to the Mason-Dixon line. Let me get to the end of the plantation first. Let me get through this forest first. Let me get through the swamp first, right? That's the kind of determination we have. And in order to do that, you must use every tool on the battlefield.
We'll get caught by then, though, and they'll change the rules.
Well, I promise you this. If Harriet Tubman was upset about that, she wouldn't have taken that run, bro. Charles Ball, look up that brother. Charles Ball? Mm-hmm. You think Harriet's story about escaping slavery is harrowing? This homie Charles Ball put just off the length of distance that he traveled on bare feet, escaping when he marched 500 miles on foot both ways, barefooted. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Brothers like Charles Ball remind me that, first of all, when we're like, we ain't our ancestors, I'm like, yeah, because you soft. Our ancestors was harder than us, yo. They was harder than us. Way, like, harder than us to a degree.
Well, different circumstances, too.
Yeah.
Completely different, so it's kind of subjective.
Yeah, right? Mm-hmm. Like, shoot. Our ancestors was
not 50 years ago, not 60 years ago. We're talking about hard enough, about over 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Our folks was hard. Frederick.
Yeah.
I didn't think I could respect a man more than Malcolm X till I read the biography of Frederick Douglass, bro.
Yeah, I read that.
He was a G.
Well, he was intelligent too. He was intelligent.
Right, but he had all of it.
Mm-hmm. Man, a private conversation that we had. I hate to do this to you, bro, but we talked about the 100 acres. 100 plus acres.
Yeah. Look. See, this is all right. So this is the thing. I will preface this statement with the elder told me the black man is indestructible, but self-destructible. You understand me? He said the black man is indestructible, but self-destructible. Meaning you threw everything at him and nothing could break him. You have to figure out a way to make him break himself. You have to turn away a man to be the enemy of himself. This is in context of talking about the dude who said that he was a part of Frederick Douglass's family when he was not, and talked about building the school when he did not, right? That dude. And we know what we're talking about. And it's just one of those things where with the amount of money that he did raise, Brother Terrence was talking about, I could have got 100 acres of land straight up. At least that, go and break that down, Terrence. What would you say?
I said that if I was someone doing a campaign like that and it was forthright and not a scam, and I collected the amount of money that he had collected, I would have went down south where the land is cheaper, and I would have bought no less than 100 acres. I would have subdivided that land, and I would have sold quarter-acre lots to black families. And the money used to sell the lots, I would have used to build the school, and I would have created a gated community. And the people who are coming to the community would have kids that were kids for the school, and the money that they spent for the lots would have built the school. And if anybody knows the whole story of this,
so you're talking about Umar Johnson, correct?
We show it, bro.
Yeah.
Show it, bro. I mean,
Theo is one of the original cats that exposed him. And I said that I would use that. Well, no, I did a video probably about 3 years ago about the St. Paul's school that he had tried to, that he said he was raising money for. That was the beginning of the whole fundraising movement. And I talked to the broker and come to find out that he had made that video and the broker never seen him again. He never made a bid. He never did anything. And he used the whole crutch of that fundraising movement in order to raise money for a school that he never even bidded on. And like I said, I was like, okay, well, you know what I'm saying? If I was going to do a school or something like that, or in the way that he's talking about doing it and all the stuff that he talks in the premise of what he says, I would have bought land. I would have, for every, if you have 1 acre and you sell the land as a quarter acres.
Got it.
You got 4 nicely built houses on 1 acre, and you would turn black folk from the inner city or what have you into homeowners, and then there's a school right there, an African-centered school right there on the premises in a gated community.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's strategy. Like, so
next call, TV. Go ahead.
All right, peace.
Yo.
Yeah.
So I don't got much longer. I can't be.
Okay, go ahead. No, that was him hanging up. Go ahead. Go ahead, Theo.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, like, so here's the cognitive bias that we have. Like, I'm very interested in psychology, right? Not
Call in, Monty. She's biting at the tongue to talk to you because she keep on complaining I hung up on her. Call in. Go ahead. Someone wants to talk to you real bad, I guess. Go ahead. All right, go ahead. No, you can keep on talking. I'll just put it on hold as you talk. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. So we as a people are in the habit of seeing the negative of shit. Not to say that we don't have a reason to, because we've been through some fucked up shit. And that's part of the picture. When we say keep it real, we talking about mostly some negative shit. And there's a survival reason for us seeing the negative, because a positive doesn't threaten you. See what I'm saying? We do see the negative, but we see it better and we can see it further than other people because When we are able to do that, when we have the cognitive gears to see that stuff, then we can avoid a lot of things that somebody who's all happy-go-lucky and like fake positive can't see, right? However, the positivity is a part of the data. The things that are working are a part of the data, right? And I had to get myself out of that because, yeah, the structural racism real as hell. Feel me? They really own this stuff. Like I spent the whole first part of the hour talking about what the white supremacist was doing, right? We do have certain assets on the field that our ancestors did leave us, right? We still got black banks. They small, but they mighty. We still got the millionaires, finally, black millionaires. They finally have the political and cultural will to have a LeBron James talking about some black ass shit, to have Killer Mike and Usher investing all of this money into one united bank. You feel me? Like we do have the internet, we do have access to information. These are the things that we have on the field. I'm talking about thinking about a survivalist, thinking like a survivalist, right? We do have these things, but if you don't look at the positive too, then you actually don't see the assets that are in your corner. This is not to gaslight you out of your oppression. I know that shit real. I know it's real. I lost a partner because of that. All right. When you take in the other sides of the positive data, all you're doing is simply saying, this is what's also in my favor. That's
Got it. 832, what's up?
Yo, chat. This is Money on camera. A couple of things. We have a lot of hypotheticals in the chat. But I just want to say that a lot of us are saying what we will do. And I even saw one person say, you know, they're ready to leave America. I will agree with Theo on the fact that we need to have a strategy. But along with the strategy, we need to educate ourselves. We don't, just as regular U.S. civilians, we don't even know our rights. If the police pull us over, we don't even know how to get out or what they can and cannot do. So we need to educate ourselves, and we also need to learn. I think it was DB saying we need to learn a skill, and we also need to learn how to build and do for self. So if we're going to come together and unite and do some shit, can we grow our own food? Because if we're really going to do some shit, we got to stop shopping at these white-owned grocery stores. We got to stop shopping at these, but we got to we don't even want to stick our money together. We don't want to read. There's a lot of shit there's a lot of hypotheticals in the chat, but there's a lot of stuff we're not doing. We have to do our part to break down the system. As far as it goes to voting, I don't think, a lot of people keep saying Trump supporters. If you're not for Biden and Kamala, it doesn't mean that you are for Trump. It does not mean that. If somebody says, hey, your choice is apples and oranges, and I say I want grapes, nigga, I want grapes. I don't want none of that. So me not voting for Biden and Kamala doesn't mean I'm for Trump. Also, I saw somebody, I think it was Reggie, saying something about damn, I lost my train of thought. But anyway, black people, for us to stick together, we have to read, we have to spend our money together, and we also have to get our resources together. And our biggest problem, even though we have black-owned businesses, we have all this stuff, our biggest problem is that we don't manufacture anything. So we got to go out the country and we got to go to other people to get our shit. That's our biggest problem. I feel like one of our biggest problems.
I appreciate that.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, seriously. You were hitting on some real ass points. You got a lot of passion, and I definitely roll with that. You're right, but I believe we're saying the same thing. We got to look at our assets so even we know what to combine. You see what I'm saying? But in general, there are a few black manufacturers, even if it's like there's like this black company that like makes juice and shit. You feel me? There's these positive black story Facebook groups. You'll be surprised what black folks is up to these days. They're just not penetrating the popular narrative. Black IT companies that specialize in cybersecurity, things of that nature, right? Black-owned trade schools that are helping brothers that are fresh out, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to get a skill when they just coming out of incarceration. You wouldn't believe that the sister was able to end cash bail here in Colorado, that another sister was able to fight off prison industrial complex. There are things that we can do. The fight is very real. I can't overemphasize. I'm not one of these conservatives that's going, and I'm not a conservative at all, but I'm not one of these people that's going to come up in here like it's all in your head, Negroes. Get over yourself. No, motherfucker, this shit real. you know what I'm saying? 100%. We have things that are going for us in our favor. You know what I mean? And in terms of a vote for Biden, or not voting for Kamala is being a vote for Trump. So I would say like my first election was 2000, Bush versus Gore. You feel me? And I voted for Nader like a motherfucker. In 2012, I voted for a third party too. You feel me? I voted third party a hell of a lot of times. At this situation that we got right now, Trump needs a supermajority to defeat him. And that's the only thing that's not only going to defeat him, but stop the violence. If it's close and he says that the shit was rigged, you will have these people spilling blood in these streets, I promise you. These white supremacists, far-right extremist terrorists will be out here killing if it's close. So I'm trying to engineer a landslide and then get your grapes. You feel me? Like at this point in time, you may want grapes, but there's hella apples that's in the way. There's some oranges, and behind the oranges is the grapes. So it's like one thing at a time. You know what I mean? I feel like at this point in time, I need Trump out of the White House, and then for the country to start assessing his historical damage. And in that historical damage report, you will find a lot of fuel for what we need for the momentum behind reparations because of how racist him and his movement is. You see what I'm saying? I need history to start assessing this cat after November 3rd. That's what I need. You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And like we, you know, as a free country,
Democratic Party right now, I feel like when we get a black candidate, or whether it's for president, vice president, whatever, whenever there's a black candidate involved, I feel like people don't vote blue or red. They vote black or other.
Yeah.
The thing with my people voting black is she done already told you. First of all, Biden been told us what he stands for. Kamala has showed us what she stands for. And I'm not going to tell you which way to vote, don't vote, go vote. I'm not going to tell you nobody what to do and what not to do. However, is when the problem is when we get black candidates, we don't see red and blue anymore. When we don't see what they stand for and what they don't stand for, we see a black candidate. No, regardless of what they stand for, regardless of what they've shown you, regardless of what they put people in jail for, you see black. And like Sergeant Dorsey says every Wednesday, all skin folk and kin folk. Like y'all have to literally sit down and say, this shit is not for me. This shit is not for me on the red side and on the blue side, because you're voting black. You see a black candidate and all that shit goes out the window. It's just like when Pastor is up there preaching. It don't matter that what he's saying is wrong. You hear Pastor say this, that, and other, and that's what you go for. Stop looking at people's skin tone and thinking, oh, they are for me, because that's not the case.
It's a real thing. Historically, you are absolutely 100% correct. We do vote along our color line. And for example, there was plenty of things that Barack Obama could have done for us had we had an agenda on the table and forced that agenda, but we did not. And because of that, he got to be the fox smiling in our face when all the time he was just a dog. So yeah, sister, I feel you 100% on that. It's happened in Denver. Like we got this black mayor. He'll skin and grin and brother man dap you up. He'll brother man dap you up and talk about barbecue and fat asses. He'll do all that shit. And when he get in office, he'll gentrify the hood. We're dealing with that in Denver right now. So sister, I'm telling you, I had to fight against him, right? In fact, I'm not even gonna go into that story. Here's what I will say. We were able to force his hand on a couple of issues because he's in his third term as mayor now. And in the second term, we let him know under no uncertain circumstances, this is what the fuck you're going to do for us now, right? You see what I'm saying? When we got into the position that we were able to eliminate the for-profit prisons, politically, he knew that his constituency was so far down his neck, he couldn't afford to stand against it. In any of his previous 2 terms, he would have done that, right? There was a black dude named Brooks who we voted. We had to vote a Latina in there who was about black people's issues because the brother was not. He was on some, and he did the same shit. Skinny green, come here, dap you up. He knew all the dap. The nigga know all the dap, right? He come up in there, talk the same shit, you know what I'm saying? He do the electric slide when Frankie Beverly and the Mays come on. I mean, black, supposedly. Except for he enabled the downtown Denver business partnership, which gentrified the fucking neighborhood. So he was like this tool. He was like this, but nah. But then we got onto him. And this Latin sister who was really about our lives, her name is Candice Baca. We had to elect Candice Baca and kick the brother out because we got wise to that. So we actually have done that. And here's what I feel. I said it before and I'll say it again. Biden, if he becomes president, is going to have to get a Democratic majority to overcome the conservatives. There is a voting bloc in Congress and hopefully in the Senate, if a couple of these candidates get in that we think is going to get in, that's going to be really talking about our shit, the progressive wing. The motherfuckers who's really not afraid to like talk about reparations conversations, stuff like that. In order to get the votes that he needs for legislation, Biden will have to pass legislation that gets those folks on his side. So strategically, it's still, and if you don't believe me, tell me what policy offerings the conservatives have given us. Besides get over it, Negroes. It's all in your head, Negroes. What have they given us besides Candace Owens? You see what I'm saying? Like, the conservatives are not hearing shit about reparations. If you saw the black people that spoke at the RNC, they was like, America's fine, fine, fine. There's no problem with America. America's great. Why make America great again? It's already great. We're just going to make greater. That's the line that you have to toe if you're a black conservative. You see what I'm saying? So who's more likely to really listen to what the fuck you got to say? The people who was afraid to put together the words systemic and racism in the same sentence, or the people who are at least willing to talk about that and create a public record of them talking the talk. And now we have a reason to force them to walk the walk. That's what I think is the more strategically sound, because the Republicans ain't shown me shit. They ain't shown me shit. That's why I'm over here and I'm talking about realistically, you know?
All right, I have one question and then I'm back in the chat. I'm gonna ask and then I'll hang up just so you can answer. Once you vote for Biden and Harris, then what? Because we already know we're not getting shit. So then what? All right.
So thank you so much for that, sister. I wouldn't be so sure. You wouldn't get a reparations situation like along with the presidential election realistically. You see what I'm saying? Like you would get a candidate, and then the candidate during their time in office would create, or we would force an environment by which we would have the legislation. So you're not going to be like, okay, if I vote for you, give me reparations, and then on November 4th, cut the check. See what I'm saying? That's not how realistically that would work. So what would work was creating an environment within the governance that legislation that would be written and debated about and put on the floor for these next 4 years will be palatable to your agenda once you present it clearly. I really like what Ice Cube's doing right now. There's the Tangibles 2020 folks like Tariq Nasheed, and he don't want folks to vote. I feel him. I didn't vote. You feel me? So if niggas don't want to vote, please understand I feel you. Like, for the very reasons that you be like, man, fuck both of these motherfuckers. I feel you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I've taken 4 years to assess the situation, and that's where I land.
Yeah, we've had so many examples, man. We've had Condoleezza Rice. We've had Barack Obama. We've had Thurgood Marshall. You know, we just can't find a way to win. And I've already voted, so I mean, I can't even. I voted for myself, so I just hope that, man, we're in a no-win situation, dog. It's no way we can hold a man hands to the fire that has no accountability to inner city Denver, inner city Chicago, New York, LA. Like, it's just no way. You know?
I would say this, brother. I've felt that thing that you're feeling so many times, man.
Sure.
Like I felt it, bro. Like, and I felt it in a way that drug me to tears. You feel me? Dude, we got
another call. Or you gotta get out of here.
Huh?
You gotta get out of here, right?
Let me just say this last thing, and we'll take one more call. And then
okay, got it. This is the last call. This is Asia. What's up? Hold on, Asia. He's gonna make one statement, and then we'll have a group discussion after he leaves.
Every time I feel the hopelessness, what I do is I do a mental experiment. I time travel one of my ancestors back from the cotton field, fresh off.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll tell them, look at this situation. Is it hopeless? And if they didn't give up, I can't either. See what I'm saying? If they didn't throw their hands up, I can't either. I take them right off that plantation. In my mind, I tell them what it is because they're intelligent. Just because they pick cotton don't mean they weren't intelligent. I come from smart people. All right? And I say, make of this what you can. And I promise their grit, resilience, and determination would make something out of the situation that I cannot see. And so that's what keeps me going. But it just may look like either, like I said, reparations or separation. We got to be real about what that is, because inclusion and shit, it's not panning out to be anything that we need.
Yeah, it's I'll let Asia talk after this, but it's just we've had the most intelligent, articulate man of the 19th century arguably was Frederick Douglass.
Mm-hmm.
The most intelligent, articulate man of the 20th century was probably Malcolm X. Mm-hmm. The most intelligent, articulate man was probably Barack Obama, the first 20 years. And we're still being gunned down. We still lack resources. Mm-hmm. It's no plan that we can create to combat what's already entrenched. Like the roots of their tree goes all the way down to the core of this earth is just what I believe. We got Asia Math though. We got to let you go, and we got Asia Math. But go ahead, Asia.
No, you just pretty much spoke on what I was just about to speak on myself or allude to. First of all, congratulations to you. What's your name, Theo?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, congratulations on your newborn child.
Beautiful, man, for sure. Yeah.
I'm a father of 5 beautiful daughters myself.
He's a girl dad.
We're both girl dads. All of our children are girls at this point.
Got to start at 5.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna get to the point. Us as melanated people, we've been hearing the same song, and some of us been singing the same old song over and over again. Like Fred said, we done had this person still getting shot, killed, oppressed. That person, same thing. The next person, same thing. And the next person, same thing. I'm just going to ask you, what timeline realistically, as it always being thrown back to me, that realistic word, realistically, what is that timeline to your measurement? As in, are we going to survive within this system? Or are we just going to burn it down and rise from the ashes? You're proposing that we survive within the system and manipulate it to work in our favor. What is that timeline? Because one thing I would guarantee you would say, if you're going to be brutally honest, this system is not working in your favor. If you don't want your daughters to grow up in the system as my daughters are growing in, and I'm not complaining because we're kind of like good, but I'm speaking for us as a whole. I'm not being selfish with this. And I've been on record to say, hey, if a person would say, well, you willing to lose it all? Damn right. And I put my daughters on the phone and they'll say the same thing. We'll all die if our next generation is going to be better. So the question is, what is the timeline for this shit to turn around?
Yeah.
In our favor.
No more than the next 4 years, I'll tell you that. No more.
And as Manny just said, after 4 years, then what?
After that point, that we have to either be prepared to exodus or die, and be honest with our children about why we're doing either. Because
you think so. So I'm not saying you're the ruler, but this, and I'm not attacking you. Thanks for not taking it as I'm attacking you. These just realistic questions. So I'm at that point now. But you're saying, hey, let's give it 4 more years.
Yeah, well, so here
I'm still not voting. But
got you. So listen. Let's say November 3rd, Trump wins and we are in this situation still for another 4 years. The civil unrest will burn this place down, brothers. It will.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear you. You kind of like was breaking up.
If Trump wins this next 4 years, the civil unrest will burn this place to the ground, simple from the fucking left. And also because the racists will be so encouraged, so emboldened, that they will start doing their shit. And when they celebrate, people die. Niggas die. Like, it's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many brothers did we see hanging this summer? Remember when like 4-5 black people like hung from trees this summer during the like from June to July? Remember that shit?
Yeah.
These motherfuckers out here, bro. Like, if he wins, they will do things to cause more civil unrest, as Derek Chauvin did. And so when we're ready, when we say, I would ask black people, folks, for real, when you say you're ready for this bitch to burn, be real with yourself and tell me, are you really? Are you really? Do you got any? Because like, I'll put it like this. I got family. I don't talk about this much. I got family who died in Hurricane Katrina flat out. My mama's people was from Shreveport. They moved to New Orleans. Some down Baton Rouge. A lot of my niggas didn't make it out. Like, my family blood did not make it out. You know what I'm saying? I've lost track of my Aunt Jerry and Uncle Marvin. I don't know where they are or when they died. See what I'm saying? And like, that shit fuck with me. You feel me? Because it's like we were willing to survive, but only under certain parameters. If that shit falls, a lot of us are not ready. So I would say that nothing has shown us more that we need to get ready. I would ask for just a little more time for my folks and be dead ass serious. And if we not ready in this next 4 years, be honest with your children. I've birthed you into a firing range. You likely gonna get killed because I'm a piece of shit parent. Or we getting us the fuck out of here. I done bought me some land somewhere in Ghana or Guyana or Jamaica or somewhere down in Panama. I figured out a way to learn Spanish. I done got this Rosetta Stone software, and I'm using the assets at my disposal to get us the fuck free. But if we choose to just be, but one thing we can't do is be woke as fuck, burning alive. That's what we can't do. Because that's what a lot of us is doing right now. We woke as fuck, burning alive. We could tell you how all these flames feel, nigga. We're so articulate about breaking down how fucked up shit is, but realistically, we're birthing our children into a firing range. Be honest about that shit. Every time a black woman tell me I'm afraid to have a son, every time my son leave, I'm afraid that he gonna get killed. Just admit that you birthed him into a firing range and you didn't do enough to stop them niggas from shooting. Because that's what it is. See, the problem with us is that we're survivors. See, that's also the problem with us. The problem with us is that we set the terms of our existence too low. You could have made a slave out of everybody. True, we survived. And the Indian, he was like, man, look, I'm gonna stone face you. I'm not even gonna tap dance. I'm not even gonna coon. You got to kill me. The Arab said, I'll blow myself up. You know what I'm saying? Spanish man said, I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. You can't get black folk. You couldn't get everybody into the slave position, right? So we survived, but we became fucking bottom feeders. Admit that you were a cockroach. Tell your kids you were a goddamn cockroach because I didn't fight for it. I didn't become a wolf like I was supposed to. Or a fucking cheetah and run off this bitch. You see what I'm saying? But being woke as shit, being alive ain't.
What I was saying in the beginning, you just saying you're gonna be all in the next 4 years. And when I say burn it down, I'm not saying, hey, we just get out there and ride. Either the system could crash on its own just by us not supporting it. Really, we're supposed to have all our own resources just from Africa alone. What the fuck is going on with that? I'm not expecting you to have the answers, but that's just a realistic thing. They're talking about, hey, we got to get stuff from China, from Germany. No, we should have all the resources we have from Africa alone. So I don't know who's cock blocking that, you know.
Nobody is. I'm telling you. Look. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. Okay. I'm gonna leave y'all with this because I do gotta go. I went to Africa in 2014. While Ferguson was burning, I was in Johannesburg just for a couple weeks, right? Dealing with the Africans there. What I've seen in Africa changed my life. And what I realized was that Black people is not just this 47 million here.
Yep.
We 1.3 billion globally, 1.5 billion globally.
Yep.
Here's what the fuck that also means. They can live without us. They built all that shit in Africa. When you go to Africa, specifically Johannesburg, you'll see a world that looked as close as you can to our world. It looked like LA. Like, you got to pinch yourself. Johannesburg looks so much like Beverly Hills. You got to pinch yourself. Africans built all that shit, all that first world, modern, beautiful shit. And then they fought for that shit. And now more Black folks are moving on, even though they haven't been problems with the white settlers that are still there. But they still did it by themselves. You feel me? And they had the kind of hustle and aggression that keep them ahead of the curve of survival. Not enough of us are ahead of the curve. We can all die. Real shit. And the Black race will still survive without us 47 million African Americans who could not get our shit together to decide whether we wanted reparations or separation. And once I knew that, I was there because a Black American construction man here in Colorado had bought 2 football field size worth farms out there and was growing it and was selling it to African corporations. I got to Africa on the dime of a Black entrepreneur who was my daddy's business partner. So I ain't telling you something I ain't already know, that I haven't already done. You feel me? But we could all die for real, for real. And the Black race gonna fucking make, and the Black race will make it without us until we figure that shit out, that we're not the fucking center of the ball game. Africa is. You just a satellite. They the mainland. You feel me? And you need to connect with them niggas some kind of way, I don't care how it is, or accept the fate that you have here. And be real with your kids about it.
Well, I'm being real with them, like I say, you know.
I mean, not you personally, Blood. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like me as like, and
Asia, get off the phone, man. Appreciate it. You wanted to respond to the NFAC for a second. Did you want to respond to the NFAC? Because I'll talk to you in a second, Asia.
Yeah.
I'm going, Fred.
Okay,
I'm back.
Appreciate it. Did you want to say something about that? Because you spoke on it earlier and you cut yourself off.
I just say, you know, they've come under a lot of critique. I respect any brother willing to pick up arms and defend his folks.
Sure.
So if you're gonna do it, just know we're gonna need you November 3rd. Go to your local polling station and stand up. That's what I'm saying. All right.
We appreciate you. On November 3rd, come do a drive-by if you got time. Yeah, November 3rd, we're gonna be in here heavy. We're gonna be watching it. Actually, we may know our next president by the time we go live. So
yeah.
And I appreciate you coming on. I want to say thank you again to Terrence Bailey. Thank you for extending your circle of influence. And come back anytime.
Thank you very much, brothers, for having me. All right.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, Theo.
Yes, sir.
All right, all the time. Man, that was a lot to digest. And it's but before we continue, I just got some good news for y'all. Because you know, Fred be working. We got a good surprise for y'all that y'all gonna be very, very pleased with. Y'all gonna be very, very pleased with this guest that's coming in Thursday. Y'all gonna be so excited about this guest because Fred just be pulling shit out of his hat. I'm like a magician. You know, sometimes I be like a magician, but DB will be happy with this one. So Champion Heart, we not gonna make it if we can't afford. Wait a minute. We not all gonna make it if we can't afford to continue. We not all not gonna make it. See, after 10 o'clock, my shit just go haywire. We can't afford to continue to keep waiting and have hope. True liberation is costly. Okay. Here, 1 second, third shift. So we got our senator coming in on Thursday at 9 o'clock. Okay, she's only gonna be here for 30 minutes. So y'all motherfuckers got to DM me your questions. We ain't got time for a call in because she's only gonna be here 30 minutes. Okay. So DM me your questions and we'll try and get them all. And we'll probably only have like 5 to 7 questions for 30 minutes. So she'll be in here. She's running against Herb Wesson in our district. And I know this channel accounts for minimum 200 to 500 votes. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be cool. So anyways, man, Holly Mitchell will be in here Thursday at 9 p.m. Tell your friends, tell your family, because I know many of y'all. She's out of LA. She's a California senator. So So it's just gonna be exciting. So I'm glad she's coming in. She's here. She'll be here for 30 to 45 minutes, and that's it. It's just my eyes get tired. You know, I mean, doing this show, I'll be reading your comments and shit and all that, so my eyes get tired for 2 hours. You know what I mean? Because I read books all the time. You know what I mean? But what's up, Third Shift? What you got?
Peace. What up, Fred?
Hey, what's up? What you got?
I got a couple things, but I'm gonna try to make it fast because I know the line is probably gonna start blowing up after the brother left. I really couldn't follow the brother too much. It was just buckets and buckets and buckets of words, and it sounds like he was all over the place. And he tried to make a distinction between separation and reparations. Why not the reparations pay for us to have separations? Why we always got to be one or the other? Oh, it got to be this way, it got to be that way, or you got to go vote. Just give them 4 more years. What that sounded like is a Democratic shield. And it sounds like that we want to have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. And on one side of us, we want to speak about, like fuck Biden, but man, I got to vote for him. That's how white supremacists feel about, it seems as though that's how white people suspect the white supremacists feel about Trump. Oh, look at the idiot, but I got to vote for him. No, you don't have to vote for him. And when we talk about I agree with you, Fred, and I kind of seen with Agent. Why can't we just let this? Why do we have to get in the way of this country destroying itself? Nobody got in front of Rome. Nobody gets in front of these. We always wants to be pacifist for them, and we always want to make excuses and then blame ourselves. Well, we got to get our shit together. We did not put ourselves in the ghetto. We did not put ourselves in the projects. We did not put ourselves in the worst parts of these cities. We've been voting since we've been allowed to vote. We've had black people after black people after black people. Fucking Clarence Thomas sits on the Supreme Court. How many more black people we need to put in front of us? How many of these democratically ran cities do we need to see this failing and all of this bullshit to see that we have no place in the politics of this world? The reason we don't have no place is because we don't understand it. We don't understand white supremacy. Like Neely Fuller says, if you don't understand it, everything else will confuse you. So I believe our job is to be a tool to destroy it, not to participate in the system, not to just give them 4 more years and maybe then and then he's talking about cycles and all this. It's just a bunch of buckets and buckets of words. My thing is, the strategy, what is the strategy? The strategy is for you as an individual black person to sharpen yourself, your mind, and to take an area that white supremacy dominates and figure out how to dismantle. It's like Shawshank Redemption, being in a prison. What Andy did was he figured out the weakness in the wall and he just dug, and he stayed focused. That's the thing I think we need to do. I think we get distracted by these people coming in front of us like they got these great grand ideas, and they don't. Do individualize yourself, and then once we individualize ourselves on a code about things we will and will not do as a people, we need to come together and say we will not kill each other. And the reason we will not kill each other because that supports the system of white supremacy. Things like that, concrete things, not all this pie in the sky bullshit. And oh yeah, I want to say this before I go, Fred, vote. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. But I respect that some people think that voting work. I just don't. And I wouldn't tell people not to vote. Vote in your best self-interest, but I'm not. And I haven't seen anything that'll work. And as far as the WBC, Fred, and I'm going to let this go, it's sad that they treat Devin like this. He's running around promoting a belt, talking about how he's WBC champion. We got Bill. I want to see what Bill has to say about them mistreating his son. That's what I want to see. I want to see why the fuck does Devin Haney keep the hair? They strip him. His arm gets better. They give it back. And then a couple days before the Lomachenko fight, Devin's not the real champion. Just some bullshit, man. That's how they treat us. And I'm tired of watching us getting treated like that. And I want to see how we're going to speak to this. But thank you for letting me get that out, Fred. It was a lot, but I had just been sitting back and watching, and I needed to get it out. So thank you for that. Shout out to the third, and keep your foot on the neck, brother.
Yeah, appreciate you. Yeah, we'll probably have this all the time. Probably Devin and Wilder will probably overflow that topic for tomorrow night too, because he was in here, And I think this is an important topic, man. I think that for real, we should be prepared. Are you hanging up or are you staying on? What are you doing? Oh, you hung up already. Okay. Here's what I say. A man walks up to you 45 days before the test and hands you the Cliff Note version. He says every answer, I don't know what order they're going to be in, but the answers are on this test, right? And let's see, who's this? And and you don't study. So guess what? You failed the test. We're watching the news every day, right? We're watching the news every goddamn day. Everyone should be armed by now. Everyone should have an emergency plan already. Everyone should have a plan B. And this is just a response, right? Everyone should be able to protect their family. Everyone should have a code, a conversation. What, you know what I mean? Meet me here. This is the plan, right? And I'm also talking to myself as I'm talking to y'all. And that's a part of what the people call it fear monger, people call it preparation. Feel free to do as you wish, right? As it pertains to that topic, right? Part two is, here's what we need to do. And here's what I think I'm going to do in the next voting cycle. I don't want to, my true ambition, if many of you guys know, I haven't mentioned this in a long time, but my goal was to become mayor of Los Angeles, right? That was like my goal by the time I was 50 years old, was to become mayor. I don't really want to be a politician now, you know, but I want to be in charge of 20,000 votes. Not forgive me. I want to have a collective in charge, and we go in with demands, right? We go in with our demands, and I think I'm going to work on that in my zip code. I'm going to get people to say, this is our demands and this is what we want. And we gotta walk into the state capitol like the Black Panthers. They got a right to have a gun. We got a right to carry a gun. And here's what I want to hold everybody accountable to. Here's what I want to hold everyone accountable to. And I mean this from the depths of my spirit. I got you. Oh, I got to take your call because your shit is loud. Now that you want to mute your shit real quick, and I'll come back to you in a second.
Okay.
I appreciate you. And so, man, go ahead and talk, man. You don't know how to mute your fucking phone? Go ahead, man. What's up? What you got? What's up, 305? Go ahead. Oh, go ahead, 305. What's up?
No, go ahead, Fred. I'm muting now.
Okay, you gonna mute? Okay. Oh, appreciate it.
I'm muting now. My bad.
Don't worry about it. You good. I love you, man. He in the MIA doing local runs, I believe. So, as what Champion Heart taught us, he gave us a word yesterday. Here's what I want to hold. It's going to be about 3,000, 4,000 people that watch this video over the next 7 days, right? How about you? We always want to talk about being Black in terms of sexuality, right? We always want to talk about being Black and who is in terms of religion. Here's the number one component where we are not Black, right? So to speak. We're not Black. We're not woke. Our fucking money. Take your money out of a PWI, predominantly white institution, and put it in a Black bank. Simply put. And some of y'all may travel, so you may have some restrictions and you don't know how to navigate without it. Take 90% of your money and put it in a Black bank. Simply put, everyone wants to be Black. Everyone wants to be woke. But now we got to start taking physical steps towards this. And I know we can impact the world, especially with social media. And Natasha asked that question. They control the media. We got to push through them algorithms, you know. every 2 months, my motherfucking channel gets what's that term? I forget. I had over 6 million views last month on this channel. That's amazing. That's like as high as it could be. It went all the way down to 2 million because it tells you on my thing. Now I'm averaging 2 million views on this channel. It went from 6 million to 2 million, a 4 million gap, right? So the point I'm making is, so we got to fight through those algorithms and getting all that. So we just gonna keep on fighting. We're not even gonna worry about that shit. I don't give a fuck about that. But what are you doing with your money? We complain that marching don't help. We have a certain population that don't believe in violence. What are you doing with your money? Everyone should have a plan with their money, because your money is just circulating. That $5,000 that you got in your checking account, that shit is circulating. That shit is just circulating through the economy. Economically, we got to do it. And I understand that some of us may have traveling jobs because we're truck drivers and whatever the case may be. Like for me, I travel a lot for boxing, you know, and it may be hard to find a bank, but we have to be uncomfortable, right? And that's what it is, man. Like we always like the educated man or the working class man always looks at the gangster and be like, nigga, why you not in the street fighting? You want to kill us, but you don't want to kill them. Well, the reason why they can afford to buy guns is because our money's in their banks. The reason why they can educate and get grants and get low interest loans is because grandma got her $70,000 and that grandma done had $70,000 in her checking account for 40 years. You know, grandmas ain't gonna let it go below. If it's at 70,000, that shit got to stay at 70,000 for the rest of her life. Or it ain't going 69,999. All hell, she gonna have a fucking heart attack. Y'all know who I'm talking about. So with that being said, what's up, 305? I'll come back to it, but I want to keep you on long because I know you're driving. What's up, 305?
Well, Fred, I'm gonna keep it quick. I'm gonna try to keep it as quick as I can. As far as this whole subject, I know you're gonna get a lot of calls about this.
Mm-hmm.
I just think I was looking at I don't know if you've seen it. They had a documentary on CNN about man, what was his name? The brother who died, who was a senator, or was he a congressman? They did like this whole docu-series on his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about the march and how he was beat upside the head and they were doing the sit-ins and the white folks were hitting him upside the head.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching that with my wife and it was hard to watch.
John Lewis.
Reason being, John Lewis, there you go. And the reason being was because you had these adult men, and this is what they believed they needed to do. But at some point, they had got hit upside the head so many times to where the brother said, well, we came up with this strategy. It was nonviolence, and they was going to beat us. But we came up with a strategy. We was going to look them in the eye. If they was going to hit us, they was going to have to look us in the eye. And I'm like, man, this is the fucking craziest thing ever. The craziest thing ever is though you looking them in the eye and they hitting you in the head is different than you not looking in the eye and hitting the head.
Mm-hmm.
But out of all of that, the thing that threw me off, and I'm going to get to my point very quickly, was that at the end of the voting act that they got, we still didn't get to select a candidate. We just got to pick elect, which we're doing today. We got to elect the candidates that already didn't fuck with us. That's basically what we're doing, the same thing right now. So nothing has changed. We never put a candidate up that came from us. We just electing candidates, either party never wanted to have anything to fucking do with us from the fucking beginning. And we jumped in the middle of that, and now we're acting surprised. And that goes back to my bigger point, which is as men, and men in period, even just black men, or whatever your culture is, especially black men, we get into these boxes where we want to be a Christian, we want to be gay, we want to be straight, we want to be military, we want to be all these things. But at the end of the day, you're a black man. You can put yourself in whatever box you want to put yourself in, but you're a black man, and the country and the system is not for you, in my opinion. And it's been proven. So what we need to do is to protect our family. And I mean in a way that LeBron James, Jay-Z, Beyonce, these people should not be heroes in your household. You should be the hero in your household. We shouldn't let the media tell us and dictate to us and our kids what's going on. Now, I'm an older man. My kids have already passed through. I had a failure. It took me till my kids got older to admit that that was a failure on my behalf. And that's why shows like Power at this point are like #1 rated shows. We shouldn't even be watching that bullshit. So we have to take culpability of what we can protect. If we keep sitting around expecting this system to change, it's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. And the biggest thing, my last point is the biggest thing that we can do as Black folks, if you watch who you're with as far as being in a relationship, that is the biggest either mistake or the biggest propellant of your life that you'll ever make. Because if you get in a relationship with somebody and have a baby from the wrong person, it'll fuck up 20 years of your life. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Well, that's my call, Fred, and that's how I feel as just simply put. Now, I know you're going to get some people that go a lot deeper than what I went into. I appreciate you covering these topics, Fred. Mm-hmm. We appreciate everything that you're doing for us out here on these streets, Fred.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, man, what are we doing with our money? We can talk all we want to talk. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. What are you, in addition to what you're doing? Okay. I'm not going to discredit nothing you're doing because I'm not saying woe is thou and I'm motherfucking the guardian angel. I just want you guys to, you calling back in? Oh, first you don't call. Now you call 14 times. What's up?
I had 3. I'm just listening. So
okay.
Okay. 3 things. One, if we Black people put our money together, we could dismantle this damn economy. We could break so many stigmatism, so many generational adversities and
curses. Want to call
white people. We can do all of that. Black people alone can do that. Black women are the biggest consumers. Black people are the biggest consumers. Black women on top of that. So we could take our money and go to a Black-owned beauty supply, or we could take our money and go to a Black-owned every essential that you buy, household item, whether it's a trash bag, whether it's toilet paper, whether it's whatever it is, there is a Black-owned company that does the same thing. Now, one thing you did say, Fred, that I have to piggyback on is we do have to. It is an inconvenience, and we have to be uncomfortable a little bit. Because it's easy for us to go to Target and get washing detergent instead of us going online and getting it shipped to us. Yes, it's easier for us to go to Target, Walmart, or whatever. So we do have to be uncomfortable, but that's going to be what builds what we're looking for and what it is that we need. I remember when you had a show and we talked about Nick Cannon and how he retracted his statements and came back and apologized. We talked big shit about him when he did. I know I did, but the thing about it is, even though we understood why he apologized and retracted his statement, okay, now what we talked about him, okay, now how are you different? Because you do the same thing on a smaller scale when you say, oh, let's vote. You basically legitimize the fucking white supremacists and everything that's going on in the fucking government. So my challenge to everybody in the chat and everybody on the call or listening in is stand on your 10. If you say basically, first you need to identify what are deal breakers and what are not deal breakers. So if you say this is not for us as Black people, and this is not helpful and this is counterproductive, okay, stand on that. Anything that goes against what's productive and anything that goes against what's for Black people, don't normalize no clown shit. That's what's going on right now. Stop normalizing clown shit. If you say this is not for me, don't stand on the fence about it. Stand on your 10 and go with that. That's my call.
Appreciate it. And you know what I say too is that the same people that they wanted us to laugh at. Yeah, I remember the people in the community that we thought was crazy. They wanted to go back. We had I was between Harlem and South Central, right? the Muslims here in LA and the Muslims in New York, but we also had like a bunch of Pan-Africans in New York, right? Because of the Marcus Garvey movement in the 20s. And remember how they taught us to laugh at them? Oh, they don't know shit. And remember how we used to laugh at the Ghana kids who had the hair. They had their dreads because they didn't cut their hair because it was symbolic of strength. It was a symbol of power, culture, strength, all the above, right? And we laughed at them in grade school. Remember that? Remember how we laughed at them in grade school? Those are the fucking people we should be celebrating, man. That little 9-year-old kid was stronger than we'll ever be. He knew he was gonna get teased every day at school, man. He knew every fucking day at PE he was gonna get teased. Those were the strongest motherfuckers in our community, man, and they had us laughing at them. And now I go to Lamert Park, and I'm very intentional about this, because I want my kids to see it. You understand what I'm saying? I want my kids to see it, and I'm up against it for various reasons, as you guys know already. And so I have to be very, very succinct and intentional. You understand? And it's just how we've been bamboozled. I'm gonna take it a step further. I was watching a story today, and I saw. Damn, they may be watching, but I'll just say this: how we want to celebrate with how we align success in our mindset, right? And I fall victim to this too, you know. Oh, like when we celebrate, we got to go to a 4 or 5-star restaurant. We got to go to this big plush hotel. We got to go to Rodale Drive. I don't know what it's like in your city, you know. But I think we got to get out of that ideology. You understand? I think it's just very, very essential. And that 1% move is going to turn into 2% because you're going to become proud of yourself. Oh yeah, you know, like I'm proud of the fact that my son says, like I've engraved in them. Who do you spend your money with first? He says Black and Asian people. Who do you spend your money with first? Black and Asian people. That's it. No question. We not moving. We not budging on that. And I think that should be the conversations in your household. You know what I mean? And shout out to the people that have 2 Black parents. That should be the conversation that you have in your household. No longer should we say, oh, we're going to go buy Gucci. We're going to go buy Louis Vuitton. That shit is, dude. Man, my God, you know how detrimental that is. You know how detrimental that song was? Versace, 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 Versace. You know how detrimental that song is to small Black business owners, to small Black business owners, to small Black Black business owners. I meant to take off the small. Yeah, you know how that's so detrimental. And you know what else is detrimental? When Black business owners take their money to go buy Gucci. And I was a part of that problem. You understand what I'm saying? I was a part of that problem. So I think that control your economic ceilings and futures. All right. Please control your TB wants to beam back in. What's up, man? What you got?
Hey, what's going on, Fred?
What's up?
Hey, man, look, I really appreciate this show tonight, man.
It's a good show.
Yeah, man. One of my elders was watching tonight, and he's loving it.
That's dope.
You know what I'm talking about? In private chat.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, so he's definitely loving it. And like I said earlier, we got a lot of people, crying about this current election.
Mm-hmm.
This is an opportunity that you go ahead and get this bag of dirt out of the damn office, and go with the devil with the smaller horns, and just we need to spend the next 4 years finding our candidate. The election starts on the day of the inauguration for Black folk. You know what I'm saying? When I say that, I mean that no sooner than, you know what I'm saying, the incumbent or the new president wins the election. For Black folk, the election, the next election has already started, and we need to start vetting people. We need, you know what I'm saying, our best and brightest, you know what I'm saying, to come out, show up, and put their platforms out there. And we need to start trying to find our candidate, because the system that's working right now is not working. And I'll tell you why. And I've said this to, you know, a few friends and family members privately. We've had a conversation. When you talk about conservatives and liberals, Black folk were always raised conservative. If you was raised by a big mama, you know what I'm saying, you went to church. If you was a young female, you was only allowed to wear certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. But liberal was Black people voting. Liberal was Black folk being free from slavery. You know, all that stuff. So where do we actually fit in? We don't fit in what the mainstream calls conservative, nor do we fit in what the mainstream calls liberal. We are in a different class. So we need to find our own platform and stop doing all this stuff here. Truthfully, it was never meant to have no. The way the country's set up, it was never meant to have any political parties in the first place. George Washington said that it was never meant for any political parties to actually be established, because one would seek power over the other, and this is what's going on. So, you know, yeah, we need to get our asses in gear. You know, honestly, we got to get our asses in gear. Otherwise, we're going to keep going through this same cycle. You know, so doing the same thing with the same result means what? So that's my call, Fred.
I appreciate you calling in.
All right, bro.
Thank you. What's up? What's up, man?
What they do, Fred? How you feeling? You know, I had to bring the energy. Shout out to Terrence Bailey Sr. Fred, another great show. Once again, what more can I say? You know, I'm looking on the title. I see my favorite fighter. Go ahead, go ahead.
You're unblocked, by the way.
Yes, sir. Free at last. Free at last, Fred. That's what's up,
Thank
man.
God Almighty.
Appreciate it, Fred. It feels good. You know what I'm saying?
Thank God Almighty, we are
free at last. It feels good like Tony.
Act like you wasn't in the second grade before. Everyone said that shit in the second grade. What's up?
It feels good.
Don't sing to me, nigga.
Hey, it feels good like Tony. You
don't say that again, nigga. You talking to a nigga on the phone. But anyways, what's up, man?
Man, I'm just talking shit, Fred. You know, it feels good. I'm looking on the title. I happen to see the best fighter in the world, Devin Haney's name on the title. And we talking about Saturday night. Vasily Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez for the unified championship. We all know Devin Haney is the real champion. Devin Haney's the real champion. They made Lomachenko franchise champion unjustly. It was unjust, Fred. Devin Haney has the same belt that Deontay Wilder had. Devin Haney has the same belt that Earl Spence got, Fred. There's never been no champion. Oh, my boy Jesus Hernandez, he said H Money with that fire. Yes, sir. You already know, Zeus. I appreciate that, man. Hey, Jesus, November 7th, you don't want to miss it. Devin Haney versus Yuriorkis Gamboa live on DAZN. It's going to be fireworks, man. And November 8th, yours truly, H Money, Mr. The Zone, live in a barbershop. You don't want to miss it, for real. But Fred, you know, we all know Devin Haney is the real champion. He's the real champion, Fred. He got the belt that Earl Spence got. He got the same belt as Earl Spence. The same belt as Roy Jones, Bernard Hopkins, Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali, all the great champions. All of the great champions had the WBC world title that Devin Haney has right now. And Fred, in the history of boxing, there's never been no undisputed champions with a franchise belt, ever. Ever. You know what I'm saying? And it's not going to be one this Saturday. Devin Haney is the missing piece of the puzzle. Devin Haney, he's demanding a fight with the winner of Lomachenko Teofimo Lopez. He demands that fight. He demands it. And Fred, I feel like it's our job and our duty to push this, man. We got to speak the truth. Haney is the real champion. Teofimo Lopez, he's trying to duck. He's been ducking. He ducked the WBC tournament. He been ducked Devin Haney. And in that interview you did with Devin Haney, Devin spoke. He spoke about that sparring session with Teofimo Lopez. And what Devin Haney said, he beat the fuck out of Teofimo. Teofimo couldn't touch him, you know? And with Devin Haney, he saw him at that fight. When he saw him at a fight, Devin Haney walked up. He walked up on Teofimo Lopez, walked him down. You know, he walked down on him. And Teofimo had nothing to say. And you got it on footage. Teofimo was quiet like a church mouse. Had nothing to say when Devin Haney was in his presence. So Teofimo Lopez, he's on record saying if he wins this fight Saturday, he doesn't want to fight Devin. He said he's not going to fight him. He said he's going to move up in weight. He doesn't want to be undisputed. One face, one champion, one name. Come on now. We got to keep that same energy. We got to keep that same energy. We all wanted to see Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua for undisputed. Why not keep that same energy in a lightweight division for Devin the Dream Haney? You know what I'm saying? He's trying to tie Mike Tyson's record, Fred, to be the youngest champion to be undisputed at 21 years old. He wants to fight the best. Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez, it don't matter. We want the winner. Lomachenko been ducking, Fred. He's been ducking. He vacated his belt, put his belt in the trash, put his WBC belt in the trash. He vacated the belt. That's how Devin became champion. Because Lomachenko, he gave his belt up. The same way Riddick Bowe gave his belt up and Lennox Lewis became champion. The same way. It's the same scenario. The same belt, the WBC. Lennox Lewis became a champion because Riddick Bowe vacated his belt, put it in the trash. And Lennox Lewis became the champion. Same thing happened with Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? When Lomachenko gave his belt up. And now Haney is the real champion, bro. So you know what? Haney wants the winner. Let's make it happen. Let's set the fade up. Haney versus the winner. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? They got to let their nuts hang, man. For real, Haney want all that smoke. Real talk, bro. We want everybody. Gervonta Tank Davis, after Tank Davis fight Leo Santa Cruz, he can get it too. Tank can get it too. Devin already made him quit in the Floyd Mayweather gym. Already made him quit. That was easy work. That was easy work, bro. Look, hey, look, we want Lomachenko to keep that same energy that he had for Gervonta Davis. He was calling out Tank for years, but he won't call out Devin Haney. Keep that same energy. Bob Arum said Devin Haney signed with the wrong promoter. That's why he don't want to fight him. But Bob Arum, you made the Lomachenko Luke Campbell fight, Maurice Hooker versus Jose Ramirez. You know, Lomachenko versus Alex Corolla, Terrence Crawford versus Amir Khan, Terrence Crawford versus Kell Brook. Those are all Eddie Hearn fighters. So is Devin Haney, but you don't want to fight him. Y'all don't want to do business with Devin Haney. Shaky ass, man, they shaky, bro. They scared. They scared of Devin. They don't want to fight, bro. Real talk. Just like Gary Russell ducking ass, ducked. And we still ain't heard from Gary Russell till this day. Where the fuck is Gary Russell, Mr. Cap at? Where's Catman? He don't even come to the barbershop no more. Shut they ass up real quick. Them niggas quiet. Where Gary Russell fans at? They don't even call no more because of Devin Haney, because of Bill Haney. Come on, bro. This is what we doing to these fighters, man. November 7th, Haney versus Gamboa. You don't want to miss it. the Croatian sensation on the undercard, Filip Hrgović, the next heavyweight champion. You don't want to miss it. No cap. But yeah, Fred, I mean, what you think about this WBC shit real quick? Let me get your
I was gonna ask you. He's not the true champion. Devin Haney is not the true champion. Teofimo Lopez is.
Teofimo Lopez is. How is he the true champion?
That's what the article said. That's what Mauricio Suleiman said today.
Did it come out of his mouth though? Did you hear it come out of his mouth?
It was a quote from him.
A quote. Yeah, see, we gotta be careful with these quotes. I want to hear it come out of his mouth though. We want to hear that come out of his mouth, bro. He said, H Money, who you voting for November 3rd, Donald Trump or Devin Haney? Devin Haney got my vote. Devin Haney and Bill Haney got my vote, bro. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. But hey, Fred, check this out real quick, bro. Devin Haney is the real champion. You know what I'm saying? He got the same belt as Earl Smith. So Earl Smith's not a real champion then?
Well, Mauricio Suleiman said he ain't the champion. So Mauricio Suleiman is the president. It was a direct quote.
Did you hear that come out of Mauricio Suleiman's mouth?
It was a direct quote. You can't misquote someone like that.
So how many?
You can misquote them, but I don't think it's a misquote.
Check this out, man. My boy Jesus Hernandez said, H Money, Mr. The Zone, spitting facts. Salute, General. Come on, man. You already know, Zeus. It's Haney time. For real. For real. Hey, yo, Fred, check this out. How many franchise champions are there in boxing? 2 of them.
2, right?
How many other champions we got in boxing with that WBC belt? Gary Russell. You got Gary Russell with it. Miguel Burchell. You got at 140 with Jose Ramirez, Earl Spence Jr., Jamal Charlo. All of these fighters, they got the same belt as Devin Haney. There's never been an undisputed champion with a franchise belt ever in boxing. So we don't want to hear that, man. We don't want to hear that. Devin Haney is the real champion. He's the real champion, bruh. For real. November 7th, bro. He gonna make his second title defense, and you don't want to miss it. On God, for real. You know what I'm saying? Look, Fred, 100 comments since I've been, you know what I'm saying, since I got on the panel. Over 100, bro. You know what I'm saying? For real.
It's your show. Every time you beam in, it's your show.
I appreciate it. Much love and respect. And why Money ain't beaming in? She needs to beam in, bro. No more call-ins for her. She gotta beam in, bro. For real. Yeah, she gotta beam in. I see her in the chat. You gotta beam in. What's wrong with you? Fuck wrong with you? But yeah, Fred, November 7th.
Yeah, your compliment on your jersey though.
I know because it's Houston. She from the H. You know what I'm saying? It's H Money on God. On God. But Fred, you know, Devin Haney's the real champion. There's no undisputed. If they want to be undisputed, Vasily Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez, they must fight Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? Stop ducking the smoke. And Fred, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, bro. Speaking the truth, bro. And I'm going to get with you tomorrow, bro. You know we're going to do it again.
We're going to do it. That's what Jay-Z said. 4 a.m. we at the club. 2 a.m. we at the club. 3 a.m. we leaving the club. 4 a.m. we at the Waffle House. 6 a.m. we kicking her out. That's what we do. You know what I mean?
For real.
Appreciate it.
Much love.
All right, all the time. You last, TY. We got Champion Heart coming in. What's up? You next, TY. What's up?
What's up, bro?
You over there falling asleep, nigga? You crying or you falling asleep? Both.
Shit, I'm tired, man.
I know. I appreciate you staying up with us. Thank you.
Man, H Money made me forget what I was getting ready to say, man.
Yeah, he got that effect. He got that effect on a lot of dope on a lot of alcoholics and shit. You know what I mean?
Oh wow. Oh man, I can't believe this, man. He made me lose my train of thought.
I'll come back to you. I'll get TY.
Yeah.
I'll come back to you.
Yeah, come back to me, man.
What's up, TY?
Yeah, what's happening? Yo, man.
Yes.
Yo,
how much money I owe you, nigga? Shit.
You good.
Okay, thank God.
You good. H Money said something I kind of halfway agree with and halfway disagree with when he referenced Lennox Lewis getting the belt because homeboy threw the belt in the garbage, and he tried to compare it to these guys. There was a different situation. They was trying to force Lewis into getting an early fight with the dude right after he had just finished the fight. They wanted to give him like a 4-month layoff, like right after fighting. They want him to fight in like another 3 to 4 months, even if that. And it was a tough ass fight. And so the halfway part, though, I do agree with, it was similar because of the fucking politics. The fucking people who deal with these belts try to maneuver their poster boy fighters either which way they want to do it, you know. So I agree with him on that, but I think it's a different situation as far as motherfuckers being cowards like Dukmachenko just avoiding fights, getting belts to avoid fights. That's something completely different. But salute to H Money. The sister that called there, man, y'all was talking about the black money and banks and all that shit. First off, yo, Fred, I want to say to you, man, I want to give you props for just being honest about being one of those one of those Negroes from back in the day that used to just laugh at African people for just being different. And it wasn't your fault. It was how we were like trained to be. You know, you said, you know, do we remember doing that? And I was never the one that did that. You know, I never had a pair of Jordans in my life. I worked since I was 12. I lived in my home since I was 16. Like, you know, I appreciated culture. I was a nigga giving history teachers the business. I was getting kicked out of classes because I was letting them know this shit was bullshit. And I just didn't buy none of it. But I salute you for speaking up on that, because it's a lot of people still have that mind state. You know what I'm saying? You see it differently now. You're teaching your children to look at it differently now. And I remember terms like African booty scratcher and all that other shit. Like, that shit was so corny. Like today, pardon me, this fucking cat. Today, I tell Euro-Americans, motherfucker, this is Africa. You want me to go back to Africa, motherfucker? This is Africa. Where you from? It ain't no island of white, you know? So learn about who the fuck you are before you try to figure out who we are. Now to the money part, you know, everybody ain't got money to move to another bank. Some people got bills set up, you know, they can't do all that transferring just yet, you know, especially around the holidays coming. So a suggestion I would love to throw to the people, everybody ban Christmas. I mean, don't buy a fucking tree, don't buy a wreath, don't buy a Christmas card, don't buy no lights, don't even go to Macy's. Your dollar is your president. You know, you want to make change, you want your president to make a difference, it is your dollar. Yo, and also for the people who are serious, please let me share this information if you don't mind, Fred. I got 2 websites for people who was really interested. The sister was talking about, you know, buying black deodorant, buying black toothpaste. So the people are really serious. I do this with my family, with my children. One website is called buyblackmovement.com. Buyblackmovement.com. You can go there and find all type of products. You can do all your grocery shopping on there. Another website is called cultureconnection360.com. So it's just like going to Target, you know, but it's owned by us, it's supported by us, it's stocked by us, and you'll be recycling your dollar, you know. So lastly,
buyblackmovement.com, and what's the other one?
Hold on, cultureconnection360.com. Culture Connection 360 is in Chicago. Shout out to my people in Chicago. And the Buy Black movement, I think they're kind of national. I think they're kind of all over. I'm not sure where they're based at, but I'll post the links in the groups as well. And now this WBC shit with Wilder, I'm not surprised. Fury is a fucking slime belly, penguin asshole smelling cornball, yo. He's a suck MC. I'm not surprised he's gonna figure out a way to cop out of that belt. He should be banned from the sport if he's not going to give that man his redemption. And but again, I'm not surprised. It's not hurting my feelings. You know, we see who the coward is. We see the one who's running from the truth, an opportunity to face a man, even in a small crowd. You don't have this flashy lights and noise. Now everybody get to see you put your fucking hands up. you know, old school style in the elevator, on the roof, in the fucking garage. There's ain't nobody running from nothing. You know, you can't be creepy. You can't be a slime ball. Shout out to Teofimo Lopez. I think he takes it under 5. He's been waiting for it for 3 years. And I think there's a difference between a fighter who wants to step in front of Loma and a fighter that's being placed in front of Loma. And Teofimo wants to be there. And that's going to be the difference in this fight. Yo, salute to you, Fred.
Appreciate you.
Salute to you.
All the time. You ready? You got it together now?
Yeah. Those sites, man, that brother said
I have
them. By Black
I have
Movement.com and Culture Communications.
Movement.com and CultureConnection360.com.
Oh, okay. Culture Connection 360. Okay. I appreciate that. I'm gonna definitely do those check those websites out. It's a soul food place here, man, in Dallas. The next time you come,
what's the name of it?
Soul to Soul.
Oh,
yeah, definitely check them out, man. I've never been to a place where you actually have to tell them to stop putting food on your plate. You know what I'm saying? Usually it's, you know, put some food on it. You know, can I get some extra? I'm gonna pay for it. But here it's like, man, they stack it. I wanted to kind of, man, it's a lot to unpack tonight, man.
It is. It definitely is.
Man, a lot to unpack, you know. The thing is that I don't want to, you know, repeat myself. I don't want to repeat a lot of what other people have said. I think, you know, we've had this conversation over and over again, you know, and kind of feel like we're kicking a dead horse. And there was one thing you said tonight that made a lot of sense. And you were saying that at this point, if we aren't paying attention to what's going on, if we're not ready, you know what I'm saying? You're never going to be ready. You know what I'm saying? We should have weapons. We should have ammunition. You know, there's these that I ordered.
What did I tell you when I gave you the keys to the place?
What did you tell me when you gave me the keys to the place?
What did I tell you? About protecting yourselves if you need it. What did I say?
Shit, man, a lot's happened.
No, it's late. I was like, I say if you need it, let me know because you're on Sentry. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I've ordered this. It's a survival pack, and the food actually lasts for 2 years. And you know, the thing is that we've got to get ready. You know what I'm saying? And it's no way that you shouldn't be aware now.
Sure.
You know, I've been telling people, get your CHL. You know, start training. You know how I train my daughters. You know, and I also take them to the range. You know, as well. I think I was trying to remember what Manny said. Manny on camera said, and she was absolutely right. The mentality has to change first before we can build anything. I've been saying that. Dr. Claude Anderson has been saying that. You know, that's there's no way around that. The thing is, man, is that we are, and I've said this before, man. We're not going to be able to. What I don't understand is people keep saying this: get Trump out. Okay, then what? You know what I'm saying? It's like, how do you hold someone accountable when we don't own anything? You know what I'm saying? And we don't control anything. So how are you gonna hold somebody accountable? So now, you know, you wanna wait and have hope for 4 more years? We don't have time for that. We don't have time for that.
Yeah,
we need immediate legislation to protect us from these rape soldiers.
Action.
Yeah, exactly. We need immediate action. None of that. None of that. Wait and have hope. We've been doing that too long. You know, we've been doing that too long. So that's that's my thing, man. You know, I don't understand this. Okay, you know, we're gonna get Trump out, and then what? Sit here for another, 4 years when these people have already shown you, that they don't care about you.
Facts.
I don't get the mentality, man. I don't understand it. It's as if what they've said and done, and you just overlooking that. You know, I don't get it, but it is what it is. Man, yeah, I had a lot more to talk about, but H Money he threw me off. But I know the show is ending, man. So I mean, we'll talk about this later. Like I said, I don't want to repeat myself.
Don't worry about it. We good.
Definitely don't want to repeat myself. But you know what? It was a cat in the chat. He said something in the chat. I think his name was Charlie Love. He was saying that after slavery, we were not supposed to be here. And what he said was true. We weren't. We were only meant to build this. This is our shit. You know what I'm saying? He's right. This is our shit, and we were only meant to build this, but we weren't meant to be here after it was built. This is why they tried to destroy us. Google the Devil's Punch Bowl and how many thousands and thousands of Black people they tried to kill in that camp that they had us in. And they continue. That's why they hate our existence, because everything that they've thrown, we've survived, and we still here. Yeah, this is why they hate our existence. But he was right. We weren't supposed to be here after we built everything. But I'm gonna jump back in the chat, man, before we end the show. I just want to speak up.
No, thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate you, Charlie Love, man. Stop. Y'all blocking Charlie Love too.
Yeah, don't block him and let him talk. We don't know.
Let him go.
Yeah, we don't
let him breathe a little bit. Let him breathe a little bit.
Yeah, we definitely don't all agree, but it's okay.
Yeah, let him speak his mind.
Yeah, definitely speak your mind.
Yeah, sure.
Without a doubt. Yeah, all right, brother.
Appreciate you. DB, call me now, DB. You still in the building, DB? DB, you still here, DB? Yeah, man. Yeah. What are we doing? But before that, let's get this out the way. Guess what, man? We got a hell of a guest. Y'all asked for it and I deliver. We got a full-blown politician. We got a senator coming in on Thursday at 9 p.m. Tell a friend, man. We gonna have our own what they call that when you oh man, I just had it too. But we got our own when you sit down with the candidate and shit like that, you know what I mean? We got our own in the barbershop, you know what I mean? And guess what? Herb Wesson gonna come right behind her. I'm still trying to get a hold of Herb Wesson, but you know what I mean? She coming in and she gonna town hall. Thank you. We got our own town hall. Thank you, Reg. And yeah. So feel free to super chat your questions, comments, and or DM them to me. Your choice. So yeah, man, we gonna rock out like that on Thursday at 9 p.m. So I'm real excited about that. And DB's on call in right now. And he gonna wrap the show up. And Fred gonna go exercise. Oh, you're not ready to call in, DB? Okay, that's cool. Comment now. So yeah, so it was a hell of a show tonight, and I'm not a proponent of waiting another 4 years. I tell you exactly what happened to me, as I've expressed it. I don't know if I expressed it fully in one segment on this show because I always get cut off because of phone call. I shouldn't say cut off, but I was at a rally. And the reason why I was going was just I didn't have a plan. So I was going just to keep that energy within me. Every day I was going to a rally. I was donating time. I was donating money. All your super chats during that time period was going towards in May and in April and June, that time period. All y'all super chats was going towards donations for the for people that was protesting and doing whatever, right? And I didn't have a plan. And then I'm at one rally or something, and it fucking hit me. Fred, your money. And when I'm gonna tell y'all niggas right now, you talk about a challenge. Oh my fucking God. You talk about a challenge to change bank accounts? Oh my God. You know how many moving parts I had to my Wells Fargo account? Oh my God. I couldn't even begin to tell you. I just couldn't. Let me reset it, but it should. I mean, more than shit. I mean, more than 30. I had more than 30 moving parts to my Wells Fargo account. More than 30. Minimum 30. And I'm lowballing 30. You know, so what I did was I did the hard work. What am I forgetting something? I did the hard work. You know what I'm saying? And it was nauseating sitting in your house for 2 hours, 3 hours at a time, getting new passwords and resetting, and you know, I'm getting the passcode to your email, you know, to your Cash App, your PayPal, your Zelle. And then I had tenants paying rent, and then I had some automatic payments going in that I had some motherfucking automatic payments in it that I forgot about because it just comes out every month. You understand? It was nominal, like $2.99 and $3.99 and $4.99 and shit. I did it. You talk about being uncomfortable. I had to go pick up. How many rents I pick up this month? I picked up five or six rents this month because grandma can't get to the bank and she's having problems with the bus and all that. That's a sacrifice. And I was it's very uncomfortable for me. But I did it. You know, and I think that it's that important. Yeah, Asia, what's up?
Yeah, thanks for taking my call. Because I know I probably was a little long when old boy was on there. And I wasn't expecting him to have the answers to it, but since we were just on that topic, it was just something to, you know, for him to think about while he was giving his solutions. Hey, you know, first I didn't want to vote, and he looked back at it and said, "Oh well, I might have made a mistake, so I'm gonna vote this time." But this system, some people say it's 10 steps ahead of us. I say it's 1 trillion steps ahead of us. You know, so how we gonna catch up within this system? And then, as Manny always say, we are our worst enemies. How we going? Who got the solution to the house niggas? Because those are their gatekeepers. You know, how are they staying in front? We got them outnumbered. How they keeping us in check? They got the house niggas in place. Who's gonna eradicate them? So I just say, and not trying to stir no feathers, and we know everybody's not built like that. The obvious, realistic solution is we're gonna rise from the ashes. Burn the fucking White House down and the people that's dwelling in it, and we rise from the ashes. For that brother who was just on there speaking, his daughter gonna grow up like your daughter, my daughters, and all that. And if he's comfortable with that, cool. He's just trying to survive within the system. The way we talking is we don't want this system no more. Not for the next 4 years, not for the next 4 hours, for real. That's all I had to say. System is how many steps ahead of us?
Oh shit! At least
exactly.
4.
So what's the timeline we're gonna catch up with?
Yeah.
And I'm quite sure it's written somewhere. We must rise from the ashes, and that's not mean it got to be our ashes. It could be their ashes. Salute to everybody. Salute to the third shift.
Appreciate you. Yeah, man. It's What you gonna do with your money, man? Like, I'll even give you an out. Like, you know what I mean? Just open up an account. Leave $100 in there and give yourself 3 months, 6 months. Start migrating shit over there. You know what I mean? When you at home, when you're bored, connect your Cash App to it. You know, then the next month, connect your PayPal to it. You know what I mean? And then, you know, then change your water bill. You know, send your water bill over there. You know, and just God, you know, just get, because we can say all we want to say. When they got your money, they control you. Great example of that is he's polarizing right now, LeBron James. Great man. Great man. But they got him by the neck. Nike got $1 billion contract on him. You know what I mean? Got $1 billion contract. He only can go so far. He's not a house Negro. I would consider LeBron a strong man. But he got $1 billion deal. We don't have $1 billion deals. But we got a chance to be independent on some level, you know? And I think that, and we got to find our way towards independence, you know? So we got to respect LeBron James. He's putting money, he's circulating money in the economy, and he's going as far as he can go. And he believes what he's doing is the right way, you know, because he's a part of that system now. I wouldn't consider him a house Negro. I just would consider him a person that he believes that he has to win within the system. You know, and I see, you know, I see nothing wrong with that. But I would, if I have a conversation with LeBron, I would ask him to take 300 million of his dollars and put it in the bank. You know what I mean? Or his direct deposits from the NBA. Just let it circulate through the bank, you know, and take it out as you wish. What's up, DB?
Oh man, feeling good, man. Loving the show, man.
Mm-hmm.
Our people getting down, you know, it's crazy when we have somebody in here just coming to give their perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Just coming to give their perspective and what their particular plan is.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody erupts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's an Uncle Tom, he supports this, that's bullshit. He got a slave mentality. He's far left, he's far right. I mean, let that man have his opinion because he loves black people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it should just stop at that. All right. He loves our people, he got a plan. And it seems like he is doing the work, and he's done some of the work. You know what I mean? So he's here with us, which means that he's already done some research and he's already got his feet in the mud. So I just say sometimes, man, we got to quit changing narrative. They start talking about, I think I was having a conversation with Monty earlier. Somebody said something about Black Lives Matter, and everybody starts talking about what it means, right? And who the founders are. All of that shit don't matter at the moment, right? I was having the same conversation with somebody else. Damn, what else was it? Anyway, the point is, if somebody is for us, then we take that inch and then we take it a mile and stop finding ways to divide. Like every time that there's something, you know, oh, Frederick Douglass wasn't better than Malcolm X, you know, and then there's a debate.
They're
right?
both great.
And there's Dr. Umar, and it's, oh, but he didn't open the school. Man, listen, just accept the good that we can get and quit poking at the black folks when we got Donald Trump in office. You know, if there's black people you want to poke at Sheriff David Clark, poke at Jackie Lacey, you know, poke at Paris Denard, you know, poke at Daniel Cameron. Yeah, we got some people to poke at. I'll poke at the people that's trying to do something for us, and they got a different path. That's it. But in terms of people talking like how the minister talking now, and I like to hear that. People talking about sharecropping and farming and getting a trade. Man, that's what Elijah Muhammad was talking about a million moons ago. And people heard Farrakhan talking about it. That's where it comes from. You ain't heard Frederick Price or nobody else talking about that. So that's been the plan. from the minister, and I see that people finally getting on board with that. And even if it's not already a plan, I mean, even if it's not already in motion, at least it's a plan in their head. I can't remember who was I in the chat with. Me and Eli Zachary. He said, "Shit, I'm already thinking about it now." And he was like, "I'm thinking about some trades and some skills." I think Jarvis said the same thing. You know, so we got our wheels turning, and that's a good thing. I know sometimes we get on here and we go, "All right, the next plan is," and that's perfect because that means there's already there's something in play. All right. I had a black I think let me see, it's called WeBuyBlack.com. There you go. That's another one. So I think Monty says she adds somebody on there every day, every week, every month or something. And somebody else said the same thing. But yeah, you can look at that one on WeBuyBlack.com. You can add that to the list. And yeah, anyway.
TY wanted to say something. He wanted to say something real quick. Go ahead, TY. Go ahead.
Hey, peace. Yo, I forgot to add. Yo, Fred, I'm gonna tag a link in the post in the group for this brother. He goes by 74 the Pugilist Specialist. You know that brother? Yo, he gives this amazing breakdown as far as should have Wilder fired that coach. Yo, it is one of the best analytical boxing breakdowns I've heard in a long time. I actually listened to this dude for years. He's kind of been on and off. Very low key, but his science is correct. And when people ask me, you know, should have Wilder fired him? I said, hell yeah. And I probably would say it with too much fire, but the way my boy breaks it down, he does it with a lot of logic. And I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna tag you and I'm gonna share it to the group.
Okay, for sure.
Boy.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Where was I at? Shit. Anyway, I think I was
talking about Monty.
Talking about Monty. Say it again. I'm sorry.
You were talking about Monty.
No, I think I finished that point. But anyhow, let's get back to the politics. Herb Wesson has been my dude, but that's just because it's been the brother that's been there. That's been a familiar face. I've seen him in person 3 or 4 times and had conversation with him, you know, and he's been solid the times that I've seen him, you know. One thing I didn't know when I met him, because I talked to him 2 times, and then finally I started doing some research on him, and I remember he was from somewhere in the Midwest. That doesn't mean he don't love LA. He's been here for 100 years, you know what I mean? But for us to have what's the sister name?
Holly Mitchell.
Holly J. Yeah. It's good to have some competition between some melanated folks. You know, she's younger. It's a woman. That's a different, you know, that's a different set of eyes, some different energy. And that doesn't mean that he's going to stop doing work in the community, because he still will. But I think that's good. And then I also sent you something, what I sent you earlier about young brother Joe. I just didn't like his approach for his campaign for trashing Maxine Waters, but you know, yeah, Auntie Maxine, she's accessible. So I disagree with the video, and I'm pretty sure some people saw the video.
Yeah, it went viral. So
did it? Okay, yeah. So yeah, maybe her house is worth that. That's not necessarily what she paid for it, you know. And talking about accessibility, I mean, I'm pretty sure most people know that her son is the coach at Crenshaw High School. You know what I mean? And she's got a niece that is does a lot of community work that's down here, like at Lamert Park and stuff. So Maxine Waters is very accessible. We see her all the time. You know what I mean? But that's not to say that there's not somebody else that's younger with a different vision, you know, that can't service our community. And I'm specifically talking about LA. So this is for Big Lloyd. This is for me, you know, Jarvis. This is for Monty, because she lives here now, Patty, so our people. But yeah, I think sometimes, man, we may need some fresh legs, you know, some fresh cuz. And
yeah, I didn't like the fact that he was bashing. I don't think that's the angle that he had to take. Back in the day when somebody wanted to get with a chick, you just spit your own game. You ain't got to talk about with the other dude's haircut or his clothes or where he lived. We call that shit dirty macking. I just talk about the shit that I'm worth and what I can do. You know what I mean? And then I don't like his dirty mac approach. That shit was weak. But he's from the old block. I don't know him that well, but always saw him. And there's just a little smidgen of something that makes me think that he's going to end up being like the Clarence Thomases and the
Daniel Camerons.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel that, and there's nothing in particular that he's done yet, but I feel that energy because of how he attacks Maxine. You know what I mean?
Well, Maxine got a stronghold on her district, so she's gonna win the 80 percentile.
Yeah, I mean, and the names been there for
so
forever.
Strong. She's just so old. You know what I mean? Like, God.
No, that's what I was saying. Yeah. So I'm not saying that we can't use some fresh legs and some fresh blood. But it's got to be a full overhaul, though, complete overhaul. I don't think that if he's in office, then I think that that this sister should be in office too. You know what I mean? I think that John Duncan. I think all of these young people need to be in office, right? But because they haven't been career politicians yet, so these people are still new. But we have to make a great effort to go to these town halls and go to the city councils. Like, we have to go down to these meetings and do what we haven't been doing. Somebody mentioned in the chat earlier, like when Barack Obama was in office, we were urged to make our demands, and we didn't. We sat back and we were happy. We got a moral victory, and we were pretty happy with that. Not saying that he didn't do anything when he was there, but I think. Say it again.
No, I was moving I was just moving the mic.
But I remember just being like in elementary school, junior high school, people, all politics are all rigged, and president can't do anything. They're just a puppet. And I used to believe that until I saw actually Donald J. Trump, or is that it? Donald J. I believe.
I don't know his middle name.
45.
Reggie does.
Whatever. The orange man. Anyway, but until I saw this guy actually in the highest seat in the land, and he stands in front of the whole world and said, "Fuck you! I'm gonna do what I want to do." He did. What's old Blue Eyes? What's his name? Old Blue Eyes.
The singer.
Yeah.
Oh, I did it my way. There
you go. What's his name?
Shit.
Not John Travolta.
I'm looking dead at his ass.
Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra. Yeah.
Yeah. So Donald Trump went up there and did his Frank Sinatra. And now after we see this guy say, "I'm appointing you. No, you're fired. You move. This is what I'm doing." I say, "Damn." Now I'm like, "Fuck, Barack. Maybe we could have done some more. Maybe Donald Trump should have been maybe he should have been 44, and then Barack Obama came after that. Maybe we would have had some different. I don't know. Maybe things would have been different. But anyhow, I'm not living in the past anymore. So yeah, man, I'm excited to get her in there this week, and hopefully we can get Brother Joe in here too, man.
I didn't reach out to him, but I reached out to Maxine Waters today. I used to know her press secretary. She's not a press secretary anymore, so I don't know how to get a hold of her. I did all the emails I could, but I gotta find a way to get a hold of her now. I know her. I don't know her son, but I know how to get a hold of him. So I gotta reach out to my friend. His voicemail was full today, but I would like to get Joe in here because I want to hear that. I want to hear that side of the coin. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm very interested in like that's interesting to me. Because I know what this side of the coin is, but like the Black Republican, like who sides with like when a Black Republican knows that his contemporaries have a hint of systemic race, they have a level or a fraction or a lot of racism in them. You know, I'm very interested in that. Like they walking alongside them. I'm very interested.
Who you talking about? Ben Carson? Uncle Ben?
Mr. Kane, you know, all them guys, you know, Condoleezza Rice. You know, I don't have a problem with black people being Republican. I don't. I have I want to understand how can you 100% be with them, you know. That's what I don't understand, because some people just vote for financial reasons. You know, they got a big corporation and they want the tax benefits, you know, or they want to protect the NAFTA, or because they have they have a company in Mexico, they have a company in Canada, Toronto, you know. So we don't know why people are who they are, but I'm very interested in them as a whole Republican, you know. So right. If that's a term, I don't know, but yeah. We just be making up shit here, like Haney. Now everybody talks in threes now. That nigga TB said mute. That shit was funny. That shit was mad funny, dog. That shit was funny as hell. So
yeah. I think, I don't know, did you see a super chat from
yeah, Terrence Bell? I didn't. Political folk and judges don't need to die in office. It hurts us as citizens. They need to have a retirement plan or term limits. Yeah, man. How the hell does the president have term limits? But our councilmen here have term limits. They have 3, but they just move on to another office. They just play musical chairs a lot. So like Dianne Feinstein, and no disrespect to Max, I don't want people to say God, I mean, my heavens, she's been in office my whole life here in Los Angeles, because I remember her yelling. I shouldn't say yelling, but you know how I remember her yelling in front of churches when I was a little kid and shit on the news and shit, you know, when something bad happens, you know. So, you know,
no, it's okay for them to change positions, you know. It's all right for people to go from local politics, you know, city council and like holding seats here, mayoral or whatever, and then moving up. But to hold the same position, you know, for 20, 30 years, like that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a long ass time. Like, oh man.
We always talking about how corrupt Mexico is and how corrupt these other countries are, but we always talk about Mexico because those politicians that they have, they stay in one spot forever. So it's easy for them to say, well, shit, I'm not going to be moved from this seat right here, so I'm going to go ahead and start making me some money. I got the power, I got the name, now let me go ahead and start cutting these side deals and making some money. Right. And that's the same shit that's happening with people now. You know?
Yeah. Why y'all timing out H Money, man? Just let them say Haney, man. Leave him alone. Yeah.
I think some people come here just to see H Money. That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's let him. I mean, he is. He's a lightning rod. Like it, love it, or hate it. He's a lightning rod, you know. You know, so is Pastor Shadigan 305. So are you. So is TB. Everyone's a lightning rod. You know, everyone can't wait to hear. So I wonder what they gonna say about this. Champion Heart. The list goes on and on. I don't want to. SS Caesar. Yeah. The ex gang member that still thinks he's in the gang, but he has 2 kids. You know, that's SS Caesar. Yeah. So yeah, man.
Anyway, man.
Let niggas live in here, man. It's the barbershop, man. Because I can't see who's blocking nobody, but I get the DMs and shit.
So I just put a link in there. So I'm gonna be just putting like little videos in there. Shit, I was just gonna like wait, and then every time that there was a MMA or UFC and Bellator events, and start doing those, and then start doing some of the smaller weight divisions. Fell off, but in the last 2 years, that kind of changed my plan, because now the smaller weight divisions are actually, I mean, they get pub now. I mean, hence, you know, Tank, Gary, Core, but that wasn't it 2 years ago. You know, 2 years ago, these dudes are still amateurs and just starting their professional careers. So, so for all the people that's like, damn, what's up with all the boxing videos? Shit, everybody covering them. So I'm not going to keep talking about the same shit that everybody else talking about. That's just foolish and don't make sense unless I'm getting an interview with these dudes. So I'm just doing I'm doing MMA, and you know, some boxing, of course, but trying to cover stuff that I see that's happening that nobody's really paying attention to. But shit, I'm just trying to get likes and then trying to get the subscribers up so I can start doing these lives. I want to get in the street with my lives. I don't want to sit in front of a computer. I want to get out in the fucking streets and go bananas.
As you should.
So, yeah. So it ain't no money in this right now, but we talking about support black business shit. Go ahead, and it ain't gonna cost you nothing just to tap that link right there. Facts. You ain't even got to watch the video. Just hit the like button for me real quick.
Facts.
And that's it. And we be having 200, 300 people in here, and I get the same 60, 70 people going through those. And what's up, ladies? I think Patricia always come through. Patricia Shelton always come through and support my vid, but none of the other ladies do. What's up, ladies? You saying? Yeah, I done went to y'all Instagram. I ain't looking for no what's that shit called? I ain't looking for no thirst traps. I ain't flirting with nobody. Nothing. I'm supporting y'all, so shit, support me right back. On the gang. Yeah. A-Rod 24, he said Khabib or Gaethje. Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah. Khabib. Khabib's wrestling is, his chain wrestling is sick. He goes for a takedown. He can't get that takedown. He goes for another takedown again. He gets a single. He go high crotch. He switch up, go to a double, grab the waist. If a guy gives his back, he'll jump on his back, monkey wrench him, start going for chokes. And if he can't get the chokes or get a sub, then he just start using his ground and pound. Sometimes the guy don't even have to be all the way on the ground. He'll stay in half guard and start pounding the dude out. So Justin got heavy hands. He hit hard as hell, but he's also Homer Simpson. He's a rock'em sock'em robot. You know, he's got great wrestling, but he never uses it. So he gonna stand there and try to hit Khabib. Khabib got a big, hard Russian head. And yeah, if Justin can't knock Khabib out in the first 2 minutes of the fight, yeah, he's gonna have hell. And the same thing's gonna happen to him that happened to Conor McGregor. You know, that wrestling is gonna drain him.
SS Caesar said, slow down, only got one kid. You funny, nigga. You funny. Oh, man. You know what I mean? He ain't say nothing about the gun, though. He ain't say nothing about being a gangman. He said, nah, I only got one kid. You know what I mean?
That's my cousin right there.
Oh, man. Yeah, we hung out after a fight one time. No, that was the Wilder fight, Ortiz fight, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's my cousin right there. Yeah. Let me see. Boxer straight right. He said Khabib until GSP comes back, and then it's 50-50. Well, it would have been 50-50 if GSP was still fighting. He'd been inactive for 3.5 years. He fought Michael Bisping at 185 pounds. So to come back and fight Khabib 30 pounds lighter at 155 pounds, number one, he got to make the weight by being inactive. He's older. And the wrestlers that he fought are a different style of wrestler than Khabib. Khabib fights with the what do they call it? What is it called? It slips my mind. But anyway, it's a different style of wrestling. It's not the regular Midwestern.
He fights this weekend?
It's next weekend. It's on the 24th.
Oh, that was I'm surprised he didn't move it to the 31st.
Nah, hell no. No.
To compete with him, yeah.
No, Dana White, when it's a big fight like that, like Khabib, Stylebender, any of those big fights like that, that's going to really draw attention. They don't have to move shit. Boxing better move around them.
Oh, really?
Hell yeah, because it's going to fuck up their numbers. Yeah, Khabib is going to do 2 million, at least 2 million buys. Like,
really?
He'll do about 2 million buys.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
He don't even speak English. He speaks English?
Yeah, Khabib speaks good English.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, okay.
Fuck you mean?
I just see that big hat, you know what I mean? And you know, I never even heard him speak. I mean, I have heard. I mean, yeah, I guess so. Because he fought Conor McGregor, right?
Yeah, choked his ass the fuck out. In the fourth
got
round.
him on the ground.
Yeah, beat the shit out of that bigot fucking.
Yeah, he gets away with everything, don't he? He get away with everything.
Everything. Motherfucker out there got 4 sexual assault cases. I'm like, it went just with that alone right there. You know, like that Sergey Kovalev shit. Like, how can any woman in the world? He should have 0 women fans first. After that,
yeah.
But then, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I got Khabib in that though. So I don't think GSP will accept the fight unless there's a bunch of stipulations in the contracts. And Dana's really not like Bob Arum and these promoters and these managers and sanctioning bodies from boxing. Dana not finna make concessions for these other dudes like that. So if you fight at 55, you fight at 55. So GSP got to bring his ass back and make the weight. And yeah, we'll see. But I would say GSP is always a dog in the fight. So I would say the fight would probably be about 75-25 in favor of Khabib. Yeah. And Money in the Ghetto, what up, family? He says Stylebender or John Jones. Man, that's you know, that's one of those fights. That fight does not have to happen. That's kind of like saying Errol Spence or Jamal Charlo. Like, if you know, let's see Errol Spence fight Jamal Charlo. Like, no, that fight don't have to happen. These dudes are 2 weight classes apart. Izzy fights at 185 pounds. John Jones is now a heavyweight. You know,
what's a heavyweight in UFC?
Anything over 205 pounds. So they got to weigh in at 265. So some dudes are real big, like Alistair Overeem, Bigfoot Silva, Brock Lesnar. They walk around about 300 pounds, but they got to weigh in at 265.
Oh, 265?
Yeah, they big as fuck.
So that's the lowest they can go.
Yeah, 260. Well, they got to weigh in at that, but usually on fight night, they somewhere between 285 and 300 pounds.
So between 205 and 265 is heavyweight.
Say it again.
So between 205 and 265 is heavyweight.
Yeah, 206 and 2. Yeah.
Yeah, and what's above that? Super heavyweight, or you can't do it?
No, they don't do super heavyweight no more. They did super heavyweight for about 6 months, but before that, it was called open weight. And for anybody who compete in martial arts, you know, open weight means it don't matter. You can be 18 years old and weigh 90 pounds, and you'll be fighting against a 65-year-old that's 400 pounds. Open weight just means you just go in there and, you know, like open bracket, you go in there and fight anybody. Yeah, I learned my lesson doing that shit. Got in there thinking I was doing something. When I first got a blue belt, was whooping the fuck out of all these blue belts, beat a couple of purples, and got in there with this OG, and he whooped my ass in about 25 seconds. Yeah, so yeah, I'm telling you, dude was about 60 years. I think it was 62.
Yeah.
Old man, whoop my ass. But yeah, so they don't do open weight no more though. Everybody's got to be in a specific division.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, but back to that, to answer his question though, I think Israel Adesanya, he's the new version of Anderson Silva. Great technical striking, uses his distance, timing, his footwork, his feints. His low kick. I mean, he is phenomenal striker. He got good takedown defense. But John Jones he a strong dude. Even the heavyweights that he trained with, like Alistair Overeem, Andrei Arlovsky, these dudes are like, man, this dude is fucking strong. And he was still fighting at 205. So just imagine now him bulking up. He done gained, I think, 22 pounds since he started bulking up to fight at heavyweight. He's too big for Izzy, man. If he grabs him, John Jones is a different kind of wrestler. You know, yeah, wrestling is the best base for MMA, for like Bellator, UFC, for these divisions right there. Yeah. Anyway, but I'm gonna do I think I'm gonna do a video probably tomorrow.
Yeah,
for
do
the
it
next
so I can watch
2 or 3 cards. Yeah, but yeah, man, y'all go and smash the
smash the like
on this
button.
video first.
Yeah,
Before
I'm
anything,
getting shadow banned. Smash the like button.
Smash the like button on this video first, and then look at the link that I put in there. Picasso, yeah, Picasso do jiu-jitsu too, so he knows exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
That's dope. Dope shit.
Yeah, but yeah, hit the like button. Everybody, take a second. If you don't know what the like button is, it's the thumbs up. I'm pretty sure they probably put a white man right there, white thumb on there. Hit that white thumb. Just tap it lightly one time. There you go. And then the link that I put in, yeah, you can go right over to that bad boy right there. For that video, like I said, you ain't even got to watch the video. Just go and hit the thumbs up for your boy. All right, man. So tomorrow, Fred, we got a show, a concert?
Yeah, it's going to come on at 8:17. So we'll just come in with the show. So we got a concert 8:17. I'll post it. In a bit. I'll post a preview of it in the morning.
Okay. Moyo Sauce, he said OSP has a sick Von Flu choke. Yeah, that Von Flu choke is sick. And OSP, I think he's got more subs with that than anybody else. He got 4 or 5 of those. And yeah, the defense for that is crazy. Like you can't be a blue or purple or doing jujitsu sometimes. You gotta be a fucking grappler to like a jujitsu guy, a wizard to be able to get out of that shit, brown or black. Yeah. Drink More Water said, drop the link again. What up, Drink? I just dropped the link in there one more time. Asian Math in the building. Picasso, let me see, Casper Jumbe. Okay. Will you tell me what it is? Anyway, so you just see me drop the link right there so you can go to my channel.
Yeah, y'all can debate. Yeah, y'all can debate on his channel. Yeah.
Yeah. You can go to my channel and we can talk MMA until the sun come up. I promise you that. Yeah. Let's see. Picasso said you got to fight Josh Garth. What's up, Josh? I ain't seen you in a minute, man. Welcome back to the barbershop.
Yeah.
Ajuang Roy, he said, Fred, do you have a Patreon? He does. Fred, can you drop the Patreon in there?
It's Barbershop Conversations on Patreon. Same thing as the channel.
There you go. There you go. Fred does have a Patreon, so there you go. H Money, he said, it's Haney time. Haney. Shout out, H Money. My Cuzzo, D-Man Jr. in the building. I see you, Cuzzo. Let's see. Asian Man, Drink More Water. Dave Jack in here. Moyo Sauce, of course. Hey, Moyo Sauce, where you at? You in Pittsburgh too, or you in
Moyo
Atlanta?
Sauce sound like St. Louis. Let's see who's right. It's Liddy in here, Natasha. Yeah, we own our own, man. We just got to fight through these algorithms, Natasha. We got to fight through these algorithms hard. You know what I mean? Support your independent Black media outlets, man, because they got to get through these algorithms. Because that's the one thing I do believe that what's the guy from Fox? What's his name? The guy that came in and raised havoc. You know, Jason Whitlock. They got these algorithms. He said they got this in Silicon Valley. I believe that. I definitely believe that they have some algorithms and they send us stuff. You know what I mean? And they hide certain links and they push certain links so it'd be in your face. And then he's from South Carolina.
Really?
I was way off. Is that considered the South, South Carolina?
Hell yeah, that's the South.
Okay, I was right. I was just the wrong
I
South.
think that's probably the most racist place that I've ever been in my life.
Yeah, I was thinking Mississippi South though. That's the Eastern Peninsula. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. I said St. Louis. That's the Midwest. Fuck was I?
Yeah, and Mir said it sounded like the DMV area. Yeah, it sounded like DC.
Box was straight right. Good night, man. Yep.
Thanks, Monty. Monty just subscribed too. I appreciate that, Monty.
Good looking, Monty. Good looking.
Good looking. All right, let me finish giving love to the fan base so we can get out of here. And I can tend to my folks. Hold on.
Oh, by the way, I didn't know what you were talking about, Reggie Owens. I'll be forgetting what I say sometimes. You said something about a kid. I didn't know what I was. You said the kids have jobs or some shit like that. I didn't know what you were talking about. I forgot.
All right, so yeah, shout out to Money for that new sub. Jarvis
Appreciate
Johnson,
you, Boxing Straight Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Winston Lee, my brother Hustler Slim, Treehouse, Box Fan, Dave Jack. What real rap at today, man? See, that's crazy.
He wasn't in here tonight, huh?
He was?
He's not in here tonight. I guess he's driving or he's asleep.
Okay. You done ran the man away. He done unsubscribed and shit after you.
That nigga.
Damn.
Oh man, that nigga got some. That nigga probably at the Bosley factory and shit. You know.
Okay. Yeah, but then my California brothers too, man. Mayor up north, cool. My brother Reggie Owens, man, holding it down for us in the NV. Jesus Hernandez, ¿qué onda, compa? All right, man. SSC is a cousin. I see you, man. Fred then gave you an additional baby. Cold dude. Yeah.
Picasso.
Yeah.
He's
it's cold when you
right
give
now.
a motherfucker extra baby and ain't even get the bus one off.
Yeah, facts.
That's crazy.
Facts.
Yeah. Natasha Bass. All right, Natasha, I see you. And we also saw what's the sister name? Keena Eaton was in here a little bit earlier.
Oh, was she? Keena, where's she been, dog? Keena, how you doing? You still in here or you sleep? Yeah. Hey, Keena, how you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
But Terrence Bailey Sr., man, we appreciate you bringing the guest through, man. He really has been the MVP for us, man, bringing on a lot of guests and bringing on really, really good guests at that.
Yeah,
so shout out to him and Patty Dean for consistently making it happen.
Mm-hmm. So,
yeah. I think that's it, man. But tomorrow, man, you said 8:17. Mr. Vegas, I see you and Jay Dixon, Champion Heart. Tomorrow, 8:17, y'all. So set your timers right now. Set the alarms, 8:17. Get your drinks ready by 7:30. Sip 1 or 2 before we get started. Puff your lie. Eat you some nice veggies.
He's dope,
so you
too.
feel a little light on your feet. Get AC going. Take you a nice little shower, man. Feel good. Pull Shorty up next to you and go, I'm taking us to a show, baby.
Yeah,
so wear that red dress. Yeah. Easy work, man. So Reggie going live? Reggie, you going live. Reggie going live. Okay.
Him and Asia Math gonna be over there in Champion Heart. Talking all fucking night. H Money too. All fucking night. I wake up and go to the bathroom. Them niggas still on live. I'm like, damn. I get out the shower and shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stay up for another hour. Nigga, I'll be gone. I wake up to go to the bathroom. Them niggas still talking. That nigga D Hodges. I fell asleep, right? I woke up. I literally woke up to D Hodges, and I fucking flipped the fuck out. That nigga had me crying about the crackhead and shit. Oh my god!
Question for you. Question for you, Reggie. Can you guys take a video and then repost it like as a new video?
Say it again.
Like change the date.
Explain.
So like how Reggie put that video all right there, right? It's been about a week already. Mm-hmm. Can he kind of repost that video so it comes out as a new video like tomorrow?
If you take the old one down. Because they'll get you for like double, especially if you monetize it. They'll get you.
Got you. Okay. Got you. All right, Peoples Hernandez, man. We finna get out of here. Rob G. Fam, we see you in there. Sir Senior, you came back, man. So for anybody, like Reggie said, Fred a damn hater.
Oh, is he? He said damn. Well, he said damn Fred a hater, not Fred a damn hater. Context is important.
Shadow band. There you go, Natasha. That's right. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, good stuff, man. Appreciate everybody, man, for the support. Thank y'all. And see y'all tomorrow. Play the song, Fred!
We in here, man. We in here. I appreciate y'all coming to hang out tonight, man. H Money free. I even freed up Pastor Usher Deacon 305. He can use his original account. You know what I mean? I was watching I was watching H Money live with Bill Haney before it came on. So maybe yeah, man. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that Devin Haney shit tomorrow, more in full detail. And Deontay Wilder. Pete Hernandez gave us our 5 mics, so we good there. Yeah, SS Caesar. What's up, big homie? Tell your son we said what up. Tell him we said thank you.
Both of them.
Both of them. BOFFUFEM. Oh man, what a night. It's an interesting conversation we were having, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And he believed every word he was saying too. He spoke with great conviction, you know what I mean? That was
Sing
cool.
a song, y'all. Cause the devil is a lie. Hey!
Things you gotta do. Hey. Fist fight for millions. Blessings, Fred. Blessings on top of blessings on top of blessings for all of us. Todos blessings. Blessings todos. Hopefully white Jesus blesses you as much as he's going to bless me. Okay? Oh, man. What's up, Sweet Science Examiner? Thank you, Sweet Science Examiner, man. I can't thank you enough, big homie. Thank you. What's up?
Tank in the building. I didn't see Tank. What up, Tank?
Yeah, what's up, big homie? Thank you. For the children, from sun up to sundown, he be supporting. You know what I mean? It's awesome. Rob, what's up?
A personal statement.
run the game like I'm A6. Learn to develop patience, determined to be the greatest yet. Bobbing and weaving and changing up like the seasons.
No white Jesus on your fort. No white Jesus. I should get a picture of a Jesus to put it behind me on November 3rd. Ooh, that might work. I don't even shit. I wouldn't put that in my house. Nah, I ain't gonna do it. Fuck it. I ain't gonna waste no $7 on the bullshit. Good night, Caesar. Good night, everybody in the barbershop, man. I appreciate y'all, man. We gonna sing one more time and we out this motherfucker. It was a good show, DB.
Loved it.
Yeah, what didn't you? I did too. I knew it was gonna be a fun show. I knew it was gonna be fun. So take it personal.
Devil lives a lie.
Hey. Telling you the truth. Hey. Knowing what to do. Yeah. Some things you gotta do. Hey. Rob. This is the most random shit ever. H Money told Rob, "You still owe me a TV." That's funny. That's funny. that nigga sound like a crackhead. Did that nigga sound like a crackhead? Nigga, you know you owe me a mansion, nigga, right? I love you, DB, man. Thank you, dog.
All right, I'll see y'all later.
I see y'all niggas tomorrow. I'll let y'all.